Hello, hello everyone, and welcome back to some more Age of Empires, and today I bring you a different stream. I won't be just casting games, I will be coaching, and I'm just checking a few things here real quick. Okay. And I'm excited to be here. Let's see how things go. I think I know what's wrong. Just wait a second. This is my first time ever streaming with a double PC setup. And I'm just fixing some last minute technical issues. You know how it goes. You want to upgrade things, you need to take one step back before taking 2 steps forward. And should be better now? Or is it the same? No, I think it's better now. Okay. Let's see who we have here in chat. First one to arrive was Vexel. Hello, Vexel. And we'll take it slow and steady. I did a post on T90 Titans League Community Edition asking, okay, who wants to get coaching? And I got 17 people signing up. How will this go? Basically, I will be going over the match, but instead of regular casting, I will focus on the point of view of one of the players, and I will try to bring constructive criticism to the table. I don't want to use criticism like click faster, have more APM, have less idle DC time. Like, I think that type of criticism is the things that, yes, I know that I need to be faster, I just can't do it. So I don't think it's very useful. Also, I cannot judge people for their key binding settings or things like that because it is casting over X. What we are going to be focused on is on strategy. And I've been coached by Hera before. One thing that I did feel is that the game became easier. Sometimes you think that, oh, the getting better means that the game is harder. Sometimes you can make decisions different, you can change your way of approaching the game, and it can become easier. And me making the players feel like the game is easier would be my biggest achievement. Math Magician, Professor Nano Arc incoming. I do like teaching, both Go and Age of Empires. I need to get back at Go, but right now I'm enjoying the Age of Empires hype train. Not a literal hype train like on Twitch, the metaphorical hype train. And I will load up here in my second computer. As I said, this is my first time ever using a double PC setup, so if there's any technical issues, please don't feel shy about pointing them out. I'm also learning here today. I'm teaching and learning at the same time. And who am I going to start off coaching first? Maybe let's go to the middle of the board. I will go kind of randomly. I have players sorted out by elo. And let's go to the Granite Jolts. And hello, Mokoto! Welcome to the stream. I'm going to start off coaching someone who is 1080 elo. Okay, I have here 3 matches. Zimbabwe, Northern Crossing, and Tulu. Coach me, please. You didn't react to the post. I did a post on TTLC, and a lot of people reacted. So Zimbabwe, Northern Crossing, and Tulu. We can go for Zimbabwe. And Jolt Schultz is playing the Malians. We can go for that. I didn't saw next time. Yeah, next time. If... Of course, it will depend on how the stream goes in terms of not only viewership that matters, but it isn't everything in the world, but also my enjoyment of the coaching process. And even if I don't have a lot of viewers, it is important to please the viewers that are there. So I will take that into account. And if people enjoy this type of content, I will be doing more Age of Empires coaching. So let me hop on to Catch Rage. And Jolts is the one we are coaching. And let me know capture rate should be smoother today if I did my job properly, but let me know how it looks. How are things flowing on the screen and everything? I can still tweak a few settings. I have one game that isn't coachable. So far, 1 second of idle TC time. That means that Jolts is doing the correct thing of queuing up a villager before starting the 2 houses. You then start the 2 houses. That can be a bit annoying when it happens. I understand. You go for the scouting. And these maps, map like Zimbabwe is trickier to coach than, let's say, an Arabia, but I did want to stand in line with the tournament thematic because you do have all of the... Let me just introduce the map. You have a lot of huntable animals here, but I don't want to get spoilers. I don't want to know what the enemy is going for before we see it. Of course, we have the overlay there on top that shows some information for us viewers, but I really want to focus on Jolt's POV for the game. A lot of villagers on food and none on wood. I would say that is the first small mistake here. Usually you want to get the lumber camp earlier, you want to get the like villager number 7 and 8 should be on food, but we do have some harassment here and you shouldn't commit to that. Running away is a good choice here. Keeping your scout alive is very important. If you could have traded your scout for 1 villager, don't do the trade. Usually it is not worth it. So keep the scout alive, bring it back home. That is a correct call. And now we see the lumber camp. Should have gone up a little bit earlier. Usually villager 7 starts building and then villager 8 or 8 and 9 can go there, finish it. And your opponent's scout is busy with yours. So you know that if their scout is busy, they can't push the animals. You are busy with other things here. Nice luring of the boar. I would just run my scout back home here. Because you're not happy with the chase, run back home. If your opponent chases you, you trap his scout in. The house, okay, is placed before getting housed. Usually, what helps with this is getting routines. Like, okay, my villager number 13 will drop a house and a meal here. Getting those routines can help you, but I mean, so far, this is what I consider to be one of the hardest Dark Ages in the tournament. Not only in the tournament, like, of all maps in general. This is a very hard map to Dark Age, and I feel like Jolts is doing a superb job. Takes down the villager, and even converts some water buffaloes, and all of these animals will reset and they will get stuck on the gate. Yeah, loses a scout. I'm not 100% sure if that was worth it. In the game, you feel great. You took down a villager, but your opponent probably closed the gate. Those animals got trapped here inside the walls, and then he can just push them again. It wasn't an error. I don't think it is something that I will criticize heavily, but it also wasn't that huge of a gain. But as I said, I think for the elo that we are coaching, I should have let me put Jolt's elo on the screen. Jolt's is 186, and this is TTLC granite bracket. Yeah, and as I said, I think so far I wouldn't point out any mistakes. Even the 2 seconds of idle TC time for someone who took down an opponent villager and everything, because one thing that can happen at these elos is that you go for for your attacks, you go for some harassment, and it doesn't... like, the damage you inflict yourself is bigger than the one you inflict on your opponent. But no, low idle TC time, getting housed for a little bit. Probably waiting for the money to age up. I think this is a really solid Dark Age out of Jolts. Like, regardless of elo, I shouldn't be speaking like if it's an 1100 elo. If this is a 1600 elo, I would say this is still a good Dark Age. Moving on gold, so this will probably be a fast castle. And this is where the game starts getting more complicated. And I think one thing that a lot of players at this elo have issues with is establishing and following a game plan. They know, okay, I should add TCs, they know I should add military, but they don't have a coherent plan and go for a little bit of everything. Here the farm, if you're under pressure, these farms are justified if things are slow. Okay, main mistake by Jolts here is this. 3 on wood, and the thing is, right now your economy looks fine. I'm watching, people are watching, everyone is watching, and this seems like a fine economy. Usually, once you do economical mistakes, you don't feel the problems right from the get-go, you feel them later, and we do see that house there. You cannot place the 2 buildings because you only had 3 on wood. 6 would be better. Like these villagers that are on berries, maybe should have been on wood. I think that's the biggest mistake by Jolts in this entire game was the lack of wood. And double B-Dex, I don't mind it at all. You wanted to go for a fast castle, sometimes you can skip it. But if your timing is off, you should get double B-Dex. 4 on wood is still very little. Because what's going to happen is that you still need wood for another building, and then you are going to need farms. You should have a core of 7 villagers on wood would be fine. 7, 8. And hello, Dark Artist! Welcome, welcome, and your pictures are really cool. I struggle with balancing wood, usually only have 4 or 5 on wood early, and then spam wood builds until I realize the lack thereof. Yeah, exactly! Intelligence is good, I can fast... 4 is good, I can fast castle. True, but the problem is... fast castling to what? Because, as I said, your struggles come later. Okay, now we have not 9 on wood. You should have more farms here. Like siege monks, you need wood for a monastery. You need wood for a siege workshop. You need wood for the siege. It just flows better, in my opinion, if you have more on wood earlier on. And this is going to be a castle drop, so he does have a coherent plan. Jolts here. And Malians, so it should be Gabedo. Once again, only 4 on wood. This is very much an all-in. So this isn't a mistake depending on how you play it. This is set up for a massive all-in. You don't have brute farming eco. You're not setting up for the mid-late transition. So if you're going for something like this, you really need to go for it. You need to double down, and you need to really drop the castle in the opponent's face, produce a lot of military, because you're paying a price. Being faster to castle age with only 25 villagers, it was some things. If you're going for this, then do you even make farms? I think the Gabeto do cost food, so it makes sense to make the farms. And like, not having any farm at all would be too much of an all-in. Like, this is already an all-in, you are causing damage. I think having no farms is really setting up to lose the game. Yes, going for hunt would be an alternative. The problem with going for a hunt, I don't dislike that, because if you're going all in, like this, you're paying a price. He has no military at all, Going for the hunt is giving yourself a lose condition. You expose a lot of your own villagers. This is a risk right now that will pay off. Doing a naked castle drop without any military is a risk. Going for a hunt is too much of a risk. But you're pressuring you're pressuring after. For now, there's no pressure. So you can only go for this after. You could lose the game in Feudal Age before you even drop a castle, if you lose your villagers there. And we see the gate blocking the castle blocking the gate. Because now we have pressure on the field. So after this, going for villagers here would be a good play. After this. Before, I think, would be a mistake. And we have no vision. We lost our scout early. That's the price we pay. We have no idea what our opponent is going for. Have no idea if they have military. With Capture Age, you know that there's a castle going on there. But this is a castle v castle fight. Do we queue in petards? We seek a battle right away. 1 or 2 petards would be nice to plant on the walls, and now these villagers can go for the map control. That's a good thing in this map. You can get gold and stone quite easily. The castle will take down the walls. Here, the eco... Missing horse color, this is an all-in, so sometimes you can go for things like that. It's more important to keep the villagers queued. I think it's okay to not have horse color, and we see that he's buying wood. That's the thing about the eco setup. But horse color should be a priority soon-ish. And Malians are a good safe pick for this style of play. Gabetos are in. That's dangerous. Oof. Oh, that's... Because a lot of these early pressures, when you are doing things like this, timing is everything. And now you've just delayed your own pressure with losing 2 Gabetos there. There's a castle, there's other venues of attack. Do not go under the castle. That's like, you can dodge, but just make the game easier for you. Siege Tower is nice, but the problem with Siege Tower is that it requires Siege Workshop, it requires a lot of things. I do like the Horse Collar. Idle TC time. And I'm not focusing on Paddy's gameplay. But that Paddy is behind because of purely idle TC time. Jolts can make mistakes, but I am focusing on improving Jolt's gameplay. One thing that you can do here is check if your opponent is here. Knowing the map, just send 1 Gabeto there. This Gabeto is low, could be your scouting Gabeto. I do like that we got Horse Collar. And if we're going for a single TC, we need to keep producing military. And hello, Felon. Hello, hello. I like this. This is the good call. Yeah, changing the stances, like stand ground. Like, you cannot assume that your opponent is just locked in. You have to confirm it. And this is a good call. Good play out of Jolts to verify this. Opponent could also be expanding here behind. It's also common in this map. Not finding a lot of damage. So here, it is important to think, what am I going to do next? Because the Gabetos aren't finding damage, and you won't break through the walls with the Gabetos. And this is the right play. Jolts is playing too well for me to coach him. I agree with the TC. I agree with the TC here. Because you have 2 options here. Both of them are correct. You could go for double down on the military, drop a siege workshop, and add rams. Or you have map control. you can go for your own boom and try to match your opponent's pace. I think those are the two options, and the worst thing that you can go is for neither of them. But you are keeping the pressure on, targeting what damage you can, and going for your own boom behind this. Yes, opponent's base. Okay, what I would add here as Jolts is that we did good scouting. And we know, okay, opponent isn't here, opponent isn't there. There are some advantages that you can snowball from having map control. Right now, the main advantage that you have is map control. You have villager lead, but you do not know that. What you have is map control. Drop outposts. Outposts are such an underrated play, and the second play you can get for map control is grabbing the relics. Right now, you are controlling the pace of the game. You decide when you fight. Your opponent has no army. He's not posing any questions. You can go for the smaller things that snowball. So outposts, and to guarantee that your opponent isn't expanding anywhere you aren't seeing. Like here. Outposting and grabbing relics are two good choices to go for when you are with map control. Because map control can be kind of an intangible advantage. It feels that you're very far ahead. Suddenly your opponent has 4 or 5 working DCs that you didn't see there. And his economy is snowballing. But at the same time, this is siege warfare. So you know that your opponent doesn't have access to a lot of resources. You're starving him of resources if this gives up. So win condition is just keeping him locked in. Just outposting the gates would be good. Or you can go for another castle. And I hope this castle is aggressive, because you already have one castle and you have like compounding effects. Another good play here. You did see your opponent's mango die. You're giving a lot of time to your opponent to mount a counterattack. Fast team would also be an option. You only have 2 TCs. Focusing your economy on going imp as fast as possible after the second castle, so no more stone, just golden food. And of course wood as the backbone. Yes, when you're winning, you need to ask yourself 2 questions. How do I win and how do I not lose? And that's the thing, you have army, but you had bad positioning, and now you allowed your opponent an angle back into the game. This is exactly the type of opportunity that your opponent was waiting for. When you're doing a forward castle... Ooh, okay, he doesn't get in. Because in Age of Empires, assuming is a bad habit. You didn't see any military, so you assume, oh, my opponent has no military. He did have, and Magodai are good against Geppettos. They do need micro, and micro is something that scales really low. But your opponent will be very happy with this, because your opponent had nothing going for him. Now he gained a small advantage with this fight. You should finish the castle, but now look at the idle villager time. Look at how many villagers you already lost. It is still a good play, but if the army was here earlier, when you drop a forward castle, you need to support it with the army. Yeah, and that's the thing also, you don't have vision. Okay, this is not a disaster for the opponent, though. And now, once again, the question is, how do I... We are ahead, how do I lose? How does my... And how do I win? Those are always the 2 questions. Win, for me, would be... Win would be Imperial Age. You are breaking in the wall, that's also a good win condition. And opponent can still boom behind this. Mokoto in the chat, yes. Tonwatch was a great call with the castles granting vision, but I think I'm picking the games without scouting them first. I think Jolts played this too well. I think the main mistake... I wasn't a huge fan of the wood setup early on. And the castle here without army support. I really like this TC, securing more and more of the map. Nice walls out of Patty Fox, but it feels like trying to stop an unstoppable flood right now. 5 minutes 20 of idle TC time, that's really solid for the type of match and everything. And I think this is quite a game over, in my opinion. You could get the further farming upgrades. We do see some siege. That's also a good play. Like right now, I mean, your opponent has Mango Dice, so they can shred the siege. Your castle will go down. There's no repair field. There's only one repair villager there. But yeah, Patty Fox has no eco. And I think adding... one is all you need through. Adding either more TCs or going Imp is the play for Jolt Stoltz. Also, good job at spending the res you have. Rarely seen, like, this coaching session has been more about... And now going for the Monk for the relics, also the correct play. Like this, my takeaway from the coaching session is keep at it. Okay, Mangudai are a dangerous unit, and they are your main lose condition. I think the main thing I would now add for Joltsol's Imp is a good call, is Ghost Skirms. Mangudai can be countered, like CA can be countered by Scorpions, but Mangudai do counter siege. Go for either Skirms or Light Cav with Farimba. Light Cav with Farimba is a good option. Skirms would help. Is this? If you're taking into Skirms, I mean, probably Bodkin is just for the castle. Losing this castle for free is a bit rough. And we have no answer to the Mangudai. And that's the thing. When we spot a problem, usually we only start reacting when it's too late. We already see the Mangudai. Mangudai can snowball. Add Skirms now. Add Skirms before you need them. That's usually how you should tackle these problems, because right now, if you had 2 or 3 answers to the Mangudai on the field, it would be okay. But we have no answers to Mangudai. And Saluvan, welcome, welcome. We have Monks and Gabetto. Now, Imperial Age will be great. We only have 1 PC, and our opponent is Mongols. What's your opinion on Arb versus Mag? Arb would be a good call as well. Arb would be a good call versus... Yeah, Arb's win. Arb would be a equally valid choice. The Gabetto... Yeah, and you already have gold units, and the Gabetto are a good unit. But double gold comps, I mean, you have a lot of gold control right now, so you can go for... Usually having trash units is good, is healthy on your army. So I would go for the Skirms, and the Skirms are a stronger counter. The traps can be sniped by the Mangudai. That's the thing, you're playing versus Mongols. Mongols do have a scary late game. Oh, I don't think Gabetto benefits from ballistics. I think they are just inaccurate all the game, but don't quote me on that, I could be wrong. The TC... stays up. with 62 HP. Yeah, do not trickle trap. The thing is, your guest Mangodai, you need an answer. That's okay. I'm glad that we are reaching a point where Jolts it's making mistakes. I think we aren't respecting the Mangodai enough. We are ahead, but there's always ways we can lose and we need to mitigate them. We are not respecting our opponent's Mangodai play enough. I like the castle here. We still have a lot of map control. We only have 4 military. That's so risky. That's how you lose 1 games. It's very important to know how to cement a victory. Having 120 pop and only 5 of it being military is not a good call. And that's the thing. Right now I don't want to focus on what the opponent is doing, because if you want to improve your elo, you will be fighting against stronger and stronger opponents. I think having few army and having no army that answers our opponent's units is an issue. We see Elite Skirm, and this is very important also. This should have been done earlier, but once you start reaching Imp, once you start hitting this late game, production is very important. You need production buildings. You need to sustain unit production and leather archer armor. Yeah, the tech to not lose pop out of the Mongols would be nice. What's the name of that tech? Nomads. Not the game mode. I have no idea how much Nomads costs. Oh, it's cheap. 300 what? 150 gold? Since space is at a premium, I wouldn't mind it. Yeah, and Jolt, the eco is nice. We could drop 2 or 3 more castles. We do have good map vision. True. We have great map vision here, and that's a good habit now. The Elite Skirm should steal the game. And keep raiding with the Gabeto, that's something really nice. Even going for Elite Gabeto, I like that. Like, keeping up the raids is something that wins games. You don't win games just by big army faces big army. You now have an answer to those battles, but the raids are so important to make sure that your opponent will not come back into the game. Monk, I need a monk. Yeah. And now, with Imperial upgrades, those Mangodai will not be happy versus these Elite Skirms. Yeah, no chance. Yeah, I know a lot of people do not like the Mongol Civ because of how powerful it is. Yeah, and Jolt's now producing units. Is floating economy, but I feel like now we are at the point where the game is just won. Now it is definitely won. I am going to depending on how the games go, I may go for 1 game per player or things like that. I may go for another Jolt's game because I want to see if I can find him struggle more. This was too clean. But also compliments to Jolt's. And since I have 17 players that submitted things, of course I won't go through all of them. But that made it so it's hard for me to ask the players, okay, which set is a good representation of your skills? Let me go for another Jolt's match. GG. And by the way, do you notice as a viewer, do you notice any difference in capturage performance on my streams, or is it absolutely equal as it has always been? Is my double PC setup useful for anything? Is the game smoother, or is it just the same as everything, any other stream? Fine here, and hello, Eric the Uns. I struggled with that. Welcome. And this is Lulu. Why am I only coaching games that I have never cast? Like, the first set that I pick, the first player that I choose to coach only goes for maps that I have never seen in a competition yet. It's cleaner. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, it should be smoother. Like before, if I did this... Okay, now the unit isn't moving. It would be very jittery. Wait, why don't the players have names? Okay, something weird happened. The players have no names there, but they do have names on the top. Yeah, this now just moves smoother. And this is regicide. The game is decided by killing our opponent's king. We are now moving toward grabbing the boar. Like, all of this is very solid. I love getting the castle early in Classic Regicide. It also gave access to unique unit as soon as you get Castle Age. It just felt like RTS. Yes, killing the king and all. Yeah. Regicide, like, there's one thing that's, like, mechanics-wise. Another thing is flavor-wise. Regicide is fun flavor-wise, but also mechanic-wise. I think sometimes it can get a little bit wonky with people... like running with the king away and things like that. It feels a little bit gimmicky of a win condition sometimes. In that regards, I prefer deathmatch, where the fixed win condition is taking down the TC. Yes, with a tower? I think so. I know that with the TC you get it. I feel like with a tower you would also get the boar, but that's a good question. 17 workers age up. You do have the farms and everything. You have the tower there trying to aim at the scout cav. Yeah, you can do it with military, exactly, so it makes sense. Double Birex right away. Good habit. And now, if we aren't going for a fast castle... Oh, we do not have a mill. I like the walls here. Preemptive defense is always nice. If we are not going for a fast castle, I would like to see a mill here for Horse Collar. Oh, and we trapped the scout in. You can fight back. Yes, that's the correct reaction. Your opponent's scout is trapped with you or not trapped with him. Pulling back the weak wheel. And we see a stables. Here I would just keep working. Yeah, just keep working. You'll have to... Yeah, do not leave the weak villager. Could have actually killed one luminous villager. True, but those villagers do have loom by now. And doink. And we see a scout rush. This map is... you start with the fortified palisades. There is not a lot of res open, and you don't know if your opponent is walled or not. It is getting walled. Going for something like a fast scout, like a scout opening. I mean... Yeah. And there are luminous villagers. That's going to be so much value. We see Loom on the way now, but that's a great pick. And that's the power of keeping your scout active. If your scout wasn't active, you wouldn't find this damage. Idle TC time is a bit higher this turnaround, and we see Bloodlines and we see Wheelbarrow. Wheelbarrow? I do not like wheelbarrow before horse collar. And if you go for wheelbarrow, I think you should add more scouts. Because we need to be coherent in our strategies. What wheelbarrow says is that I'm going to go later to Castle Age. And if you're going to go later to Castle Age, then double commit on the scouts. I do like bloodlines. I would even go as far. Yeah, we have the forging. So no need for a blacksmith. We have one, so we can get for the armor upgrade. Yeah, no snipes there. And okay, we see our opponent is walled in. Usually, when you're going for scouts, once we see your opponent walled in, we stop producing them. Like, even Bloodlines was kind of an overcommit, in my opinion. Oh, what? Wait. Ah? Oh, he opened the wall with a villager. That's horrible. That's horrible. That's game ending. Like, I like that he stopped producing scout. That is the right call there. Nice quick walls there. Sometimes we win because we play well. Other times we win because our opponent plays worse. And this is one of those cases. I do like the Spearman active on the field. We are targeting the lumber camp. Palisade would also be fine. And now we see more scouts being added. We are in, true, but I don't think we can get any more scouting. I would focus on Castle Age now. And we are... Okay. Details now. I think you are probably focusing a lot here. And you did gain a villager kill. But you're not gaining a lot by looking at this. Maybe you can save them from a pike. Right now you should look at here. And what you need is farms. Your next goal is Castle Age. Like, floating 500 wood in Feudal Age is bad. If it's another age, it's good. You should never float wood in Feudal Age. And you need more farms. Horse collar, farms, and Castle Age. That's the follow-up to this. No more... I think we produced a little bit too many scouts. And now our opponent is on the way to castle. And now we are having to use the market. I think if there's one thing that Jolts needs to work on is Dark and Feudal Age economy. Previous map we had lack of wood, in my opinion. Now we had lack of farms. And farms being placed earlier matters a lot. Like, the timing on the farms matters big time. Yes, we are denying wood. And I like the other scout, because you have to think, okay, is my opponent getting wood somewhere else? You should search for that. We have chopped our way outside. We are buying food. Yeah, now we are fixing our mistakes with the market even having 11 on berries right now, but that's just lack of preparing. And now we see, yeah, the pikes should do nicely versus some scouts. Yeah, oh, you can, yeah, lead them in. You have the tower, you have the pikes. I'm talking to in terms of Paddy Fox playing well, and now our opponent has access to camels. We really need to click up to Castle Age. Like, it's really a priority. And I think, yeah, the mistake was like a farms. I saw 500 wood at one point, and that just snowballed. So if there's one thing that you should take away from this coaching, Jolts, I think, like, you have good micro, you have good army control, you're doing a lot of things well. I think the main takeaway is really Dark Age and Feudal Age economy. That's a long wait to find the word castle, Lando. I'm doing my best. I have 2 computers, but only 1 brain. Good job here, spreading out the outposts. Yeah, now our opponent has more TCs. Losing those scouts, keeping them alive is important. It helps us buy time, because right now what we need is time. It is better. This is a type of moment where if I'm getting coached by Hera, we often are too obsessive about, oh, I have units, I need to do things with them. We're about to get upgrades, we're about to get age up. We can get some supporting units like CA to help with the pikemen. The best play you can do with these scouts right now is right-click them home and leave them there. Just leave 1 on the field if you want to scout. You don't need to scout with 3. They can snipe siege. Yes, that's a huge role. They can snipe monks. They could be outside. And hello, Zordon. Welcome, welcome. And yeah, we just threw away all of our scouts. Thing on the relics, that's another good play. Like, it's something that mental switches are hard to do. We had success with our scouts in feudal age raiding, so that's how our mindset is at. We are like, okay, scouts forward, scouts gain value, me brain happy, let's keep at it. But the game reaches a point where your opponent has TCs, has spikes, has everything. Your scouts aren't gaining any value and they should just be home. Like, it's hard to do the transition because your mind is still filled with like the endorphins and everything of like, oh, I just got so many villagers. But it is important to do the mental switch of, okay, now adding more scouts just won't cut it. Knights are good and CA is a good call if your opponent is on pikes. And we need to think about matchups, especially once Castle Age is reached. We are playing against the Berbers. Camels are very likely and CA will perform very well versus the camels once we get enough numbers. If we're going for CA, we need to think about our strengths and weaknesses. Our main weakness right now is the time for transition. CA really need a snowball. No worry, fella, no worry. I will do 1 class more. I will do like a full introductory class. Sorry. And we only built 1 cavalry archer. I would like to go for a bigger commitment. We have no fletching or anything. Because we are playing versus the Berbers, I think the CA is the best unit. TheNando. I am doing my best. And I want to also improve as a teacher myself. Because that's also a skill that you can gain. It's very different from regular casting. In regular casting, you're concerned about building up narratives. And that's the thing about keeping your army active. That's something that Schultz is doing fine. And then you find these peaks. And now you see what your opponent is going for. Yeah, probably castle dropping to camel archers. Camel archers are a great unit. Yeah, he wants camel archer. Mistake out of the opponent to go out there without army control. We see some ramps. Okay, right now, Jolts. I think you had a good opening. We are seeing the lack of a plan. We have a siege workshop. We have 1 CA. We have 2 scouts, 2 pikemen, 4 knights. You have a power spike. You need to either use it or go for something. Castle drop is an option, but spreading out all of our economy like this is not a good habit. And we do see the castle here, but our opponent also has a defensive castle. And that should be the cue to abandon that idea. Right now, for Jolts, any plan is better than... What? Maybe some pathing shenanigans there? No, he's going for the castle drop on this side. Type the queen on the way to migrating through. That would be a nice play. And we do see that castle is within range for the fortified. I do not like the play here of the forward castle. At least this forward. And hello, Nikito. Yeah, because the thing is... Yes, I'm starting with Jolts. I will move on to other players. The thing is, we are ahead. And this is, as we saw in the previous game, this is giving our opponent the opportunity to come back. And we see that the castle may not go up. And like, even if the castle goes up, our opponent is expanding towards that side. So this can cause a lot of losses for us and won't cause a lot of wins if it goes up. It's a high risk for low reward. The king refuge is under attack, but the king can just go away. Like, the king doesn't have to stay the fortified tower. I think this was a huge risk for little reward. Queen through. This map isn't with a king is... Ooh! Paddy Fox, that's the win condition. You need to keep your eye on that. And the army copy is still a little bit of everything. The skirms were added to counter the crossbows, which is a good call. Yeah, the game can end like this. I'm having more fun with casting than with the coaching. But yes, I think Jolts played really solid. I think the two main points would be sometimes the feudal age economy, like adding farms earlier, and sometimes like in a previous game we had some like of wood and everything, and then in Castle Age going for a more coherent unit cohort, because this is very expensive. You're spending a lot of upgrades and not all of your units are waiting from it. And yes, I'm using the Rex that I have from TTLC. If Paddy, I didn't put the elo up. If Paddy was a stronger opponent, maybe we could have seen more of Jolts' weaknesses. But I'm going to move on to the next coachee. Let me see, who do I go for? Let me check one thing real quick. And hello, D1100. Oh, you asked that question, I'm going to go to the lowest elo then. Just because you asked that in the right time. I had only one person from the dirt bracket signing in. Yeah, the ending was fun. Oh yes, and it's Zordon. Yes, I wasn't associating the name. It is you. And I do prefer, like, I know that sometimes people aren't here because of time zones and things like that. I do prefer coach people that are on chat. Oh, here we are. And oh, you played against Failed Fanboy. I cast him in the past. Why are... Once again, the maps are Zimbabwe, Tulu, and Northern Crossing. Why do low elo players just go for for maps that I haven't seen much of. We can go for Northern Crossing to have something different. Let's go 5-watch streak. Thank you, D1100. Post Malone. We love close maps. True, my expertise is open maps. That's the thing I'm more skilled at. Let's go for Northern Crossing. And thank you for the follow, Post Malone. Thank you, thank you. Good luck, have fun, I apparently need it. Let's focus on our hero of today. I could use some... Oh, I already had 17 people signing up, Nikito. I do appreciate it. But I already have so many people signing up. Order. Like, comereo.
Yes.
How does someone feel at being a fanboy? I don't know. I like these two already. Yeah, the chatty players are always charming.
Who?
And here, what I would advise is that make the game easy for you. Yeah, leave your sheeps under the TC. Oh, Elo, thank you for the question. I forgot, and we are only putting up the Elo of the one I'm coaching. $780 Elo. Yeah, here it is tricky. In the Dark Age, your main focus, like one sheep at home, other to scout. The thing is, Dark Artists, we need to adapt the coaching to the elo of the player. And right now, the most important thing that you should focus on in the Dark Age is not having idle TC time. Like, you want to make the game as easy as possible for you. I wouldn't even mind if you pressed auto scouting. Producing villagers is the #1 priority here in the Dark Age. Always queue up villagers as many as you can, and if you do not play with any hotkeys at all, a lot of players at TCLO don't use any hotkeys. I think it's a very bad habit to go like from 0 hotkeys into 20. The first 2 hotkeys you should have, in my opinion, are select TC and queue up villagers. And work on that mental gymnastic of pressing TC, villager, TC, villager. It's like when you're driving a car, you're thinking about, at first, you're thinking about shifting gears in the car, and then no one actively thinks about that 9 out of 10 times. It becomes automatic. You want to select TC, queue up villagers. Select TC, queue up villagers. You want that to become automatic. 700 elo. This is the lowest elo that we signed up for the coaching. Nice job adding the house early on to not get housed. Luring in the boar was also a good play. Grabbing the dock. Post Malone is here. I really like Post Malone's name. Oof, coaching with a controller. Oh, I should have used my eyeballs. Those are useful. And okay, since this is a hybrid map, this is correct. To go for the more villagers on wood. And nice reaction there to the opponent's scout. Garrisoning right away. Queuing up fishing ships. Grabbing in the boars. A lot of... Of course, I'm not coaching like 200 elo, like 700 elo is already players who have some basics. The only main flaw I would say here is really the queuing up of villagers. That's the main thing holding you back in Dark Age, because of course there are things like, oh, we can queue up more more fishing ships. Maybe if you add one villager here instead of that, it will be more optimal. Yeah, and I don't mind. Fill up the queue as much as you can. It may sometimes be misleading because you're like, oh, I don't have resources to Dark Age, and you have them. They're just here in the queue. But you want to make the game easy. When you remember the TC, fill up the queue all the way. Because right now, we have, like, our brain should be thinking two things. Queue up fishing ships, queue up villagers. Barracks could be added later, but it's still a nice addition. And if we have this many on wood, that's the thing. Usually we start snowballing our villagers on food. If you have this many on wood, we need to add more fishing ships. The other option would be take some away from wood. Like 2 or 3 and add them to berries. But still 12-10 is not a bad ratio. I like that. Okay, I really like that we are doing this. This is a really good... With 12 on wood, don't we need a second lumber cap? Yes. It starts being the... Like, above 8 starts being the number where we could add a second TC for added efficiency. A second lumber camp for added efficiency. That wall can work a little bit against you. But it's not bad. I do like that we are thinking about walling. That is a good call. Where's our scout? Oh, the scout's moving around. We see Feudal Age, we see Loom. I would prefer Loom earlier. Just to make sure that we don't have any issues. And now this is a part where we need to start thinking about Castle Age. That's the next stage of the game. We have two options once we reach Feudal Age. Army or Castle Age. And most players at this elo prefer Castle Age. What is the route for that? First, at the start of the game, our only question was queuing up villagers and have them work. That's the #1 priority. Now the game opens up and we need to think, okay, what do I go for? We see stables, so that's a choice of military. We should add 1 or 2 to the mining camps and start adding farms. In water maps, you can ignore farms if you're really good at water. If you're fighting over water, if you have a lot of fish booming, you can ignore farms in a water map. Since we aren't in that stage, I would love to see just 8 farms. Berry economy is slow and can be misleading. And also, second habit that I would say is double BitX. Some things like wheelbarrow, you got wheelbarrow because you are the Vikings, not because you clicked it. Wheelbarrow is situational, horse collar is also situational. Double BitX, always click it. At this elo, you shouldn't be going for any weird builds that ignore double BitX. Automate that. Like, create a Pavlovian response, like, Middle Age is in, I click double BitX. Getting the eco upgrades will help a lot. Yeah, this wheelbarrow was worth it because it was free with the Vikings. But yeah, and that's the thing, we don't want to make the game hard. You want to make the game as easy as possible for you. We don't want to be controlling 4 or 5 armies. We don't want to like be with like 5 scouts here and 1 there. We want to make the game easy. And double BitX is something that isn't that difficult. Is that too many on gold? It is, but we were late on gold, so I don't mind. Usually 3 would be enough early on. If we aren't building gold units, but since we are late, I kind of like that to counter our mistake. And now we can click up to Castle Age, and this is a decent timing. Yeah, Castle Age on the way. And once we reach Castle Age, it's once again an age of opportunities. We need to think of what of these 3 routes will we focus on. Do I want to go for water? If yes, I am the Vikings. I can add longboats, which are amazing. Do I want to go for economy? I add TCs. Or do I want to go for military? Maybe barracks units? Maybe a siege workshop? So I do wonder what will be the choice out of sort in here. We see fletching on the way. So that tells me probably longboat. The Art of Wars tutorial is really good at helping. There's a Art of Wars thing. Okay, double B-Rex is clicked now. Better late than never. Okay, a good habit for players of all elos. When you are researching age up, if you're not getting pressured, it's a good mental habit. Check your eco upgrades. While, like, age up takes a while, while it is going up, click your lumber camp, check if you have a thing. Click your mill, check if you have a thing. Click your mining camp, check if you have a thing. It isn't about doing a lot of things, it's about doing the most important things. Eco upgrades are something that will make the game better for you. And you just have to click them once and never think about it again. We need an Art of War unit micro live on stream from you now. Oh, I think I've done that without losing a single unit. Not in the Navy ones. And we do see going for longboats. So that's a good option with the Vikings. Oh, hello, Kralentoth. It's going great. I have gold in all Art of War, less unit land control. I think unit land control, if I remember correctly, the one with the scouts. Are you able to do the land battle Art of War against men at arms with archers without losing any? Yes. Oh, after the men at arms buff, I haven't done it yet. That could be an interesting challenge for after this one. Okay, we go forward with the longboat. We have army. We should use it. That's a good call. And we do see medium warships on the way. I think since we have the longboats, we don't need it. And this is a good play. This is good play. To have the... And parking them under the dock for melee range. Okay, and now we are winning here. It is satisfying to stay here and look at our troops winning. We need to look somewhere else, and we are getting raided. These are just scout cavalries. If these were knights, you have to run here. You do have handcarts, so you run fast. You could have just fought back with villagers. Villagers are strong. You can just use your villagers to punch them down. Fixing in the overchops. Yeah. Like, look at how fast your villagers go with wheelbarrow. Oh, are you going to use the transport ship? What a mad lad! Oh, I saw Harassing Immortal Bengali Monks. I saw them live. Oh, wait, was that in a group stage or... Because if it was group stage, I didn't see it live. And I think that was group stage. Like, it was... What are they feeding these 700 ELO players nowadays? We see counter pressure with the scouts. And that's the thing right now. Idle TC time is one of the things that's going up. What we need is a military plan. And what we need is to spend our economy. We have a lot of golden food. What costs golden food? Either knights, even though Vikings don't have the best knights, they are a good unit, or some barracks units. You can go for Fast Imp right now. Fast Imp would often be a quote-unquote bad build, but sometimes if your eco is already set up for it, you can go. And you see your opponent has a castle. If your opponent has a castle, go Fast Imp. That castle is scary. You should... Like, the most important thing about the castle in your face is to keep your calm. And you have all of these res. You have a market. Buy a castle and click up to Imp. And you can trap it down. Yeah, buy a castle. Because the castle would be the... A castle works as a building. You can go for... You have a market. It is hard to remember the market. But you could buy either the stone for a castle or the wood for a university and a monastery. Yeah, the Elefantos and the Rafa. And the good thing about building a castle right now is that it would grant you your villagers safety. The TC is performing well there. We have some knights on the field. Because we do have economy. And right now, like, if you're a pro player, counter raids would be the play and things like that. We are not pro players. We have a threat. We need to not panic, stop and think, how do I deal with this threat? And I think the best way, you are mining stone, and that's a good goal. I think you are thinking about the dropping a castle and going in. You just forgot that to use the market to help you with the timing of that. But yeah, that, like, a good way is to segment the game by stages. And right now we are in the stage of, I need to deal with castle in my face. That's my #1 priority. If he bought the castle, he wouldn't have gold for Imp. I don't know, he had quite a lot of food, he spent it on knights. I think... he could have made it work, and the thing is, now we have military to help us defend, but our opponent isn't pressuring, and our military is not... Like, we should stop producing military. Is Viking Knight a good move this late into castle? It is. Viking Knight is always a good move, because even if they aren't the best knights, you can raid your opponent's economy. What is the counter to Rathas as Vikings? Skirms are good. Yeah, skirms are a good choice. Scorps can be tricky because they can switch to melee and are more efficient at melting the Scorps. Okay, now you have a castle in your face and you can garrison your TC and fire at the villagers. Oof, and I think, yeah, you're using the military. You need to run away. But I understand the villager production being low now, because this is now panic time. This is like you are focused on an objective. And I think we need to drop a castle here. We lost that forward position. To stay in the game, we did a defensive castle. We have enough, like, we have more than enough stone now. That's the main thing we need. Your opponent has nothing that can pressure a castle. until he reaches Imp. I mean, he can go for a siege push, but that's risky. You could even delete these walls and drop the castle here. Nice, nice. More towards the front would be better, but I mean, it secures the gold, secures the wood. Yeah, and Rathas are a strong unit. We see archery ranges on the way. I think some Viking crossbowmen would actually also be a good counter to Rathas. And now we have enough space to start messing them with a castle. Elite Ratha has 3 pierce armor. Yes, but non-elite only has 1. We are getting a lot of gold for him, and then we can trade on our opponent's castles. Last time I played Rathas, I had camel. This is how I found out Vikings. Yeah, a lot of civs don't have camels. And the thing also about Rathas is, of course, you can go for some crazy all-ins and things like that. Usually, your opponent paid the price to have Rathas on the field. Yeah, you need a castle. Like, this is already a mid stage of the game. This tournament is helping you learn the nice. So the Rathas take time to be on the field, and once Rathas are on the field, you should have your own plethora of options as well. Depending on the civ that you are playing with. But here we are getting oh no, that's for the... We're getting light cav. Lime and orange tic tacs. Yeah, Pike skirms with something as a front line. And we do see skirms on the way. And they are elite skirms. Does Ratha armor count as CA? Because elite skirms do have bonus armor versus CA armor class. Yes, yeah, so... And we are now adjusting the economy. And we are going in. Oh no, that's failed fanboy. No! Oh, Berserks won't perform well here. I mean, they are a front line that we need. The thing is... Okay, the thing here... is that we need a mass. Recalling units, even if we are using the right unit, will make it so that we have no mass. We need to keep our production up. Like, even click the archery range and queue up 5, 6, 7 skirms from each archery range. Oh yes, and our armor upgrade is vital for the skirms. Feathered archer armor. And now we have Imp on the way as well. Have our own castle. The problem is that this will not turn into a trap war. And our opponent is faster to castle. I do like the play here of moving with these knights if they are going for a counter raid. Yeah, ballistics as well. Like, we... After a lot of pressure, the thing is, if you're playing the game... Right now, you feel extremely... stressed. But if you're watching the stream, look at what is happening right now on the game. Even though when you are playing you feel extremely stressed, not a lot is happening. Yes, but that's the thing. You can build them, and you have... Is it your blacksmith? No, your blacksmith fell. You can build them. Like right now, you need to stop and think and be like, okay, how do I maximize my units. How do I maximize my chances? I need a blacksmith, I need a university. It is hard to think about these things while the game is going. Like, once you watched a lot of games and played a lot of games, it starts being like automatic, but reaching that point is hard. But upgrades in general are something that will always make your game easier. Because right now we have resources for... We have resources for everything. The question is, how do we spend them? That's the question we are asking. Elite scums are on the way. And, oh, by the way, a tip for you, Zordon. Do you know shift click for queuing units? Because if you shift and press the skirm with either hotkeys or the mouse, you queue up 5 instead of 1 at a time. And if you're struggling to produce a lot of villagers and a lot of units, if you're struggling to spend, pressing shift while you click can help you spend faster. Shift W or shift, like, at this hilo not everyone uses hotkeys. Yes, okay, and F2 is all ranges for me, just need to stay steady, exactly. Because here, if you have a lot of bank, instead of like, okay, I'm going to queue up 1, now 1 more, now 1 more. Select them and queue a bunch of them, make the game easier for you. Whenever you queue up 1 unit, if you have res to queue up 10, queue 10. You can think about optimization later. Right now, we are not thinking about small optimization, we are thinking about spending those resources. That's the one thing that you need to do. Yeah, the scrums. Another tip is that you want to accept... Oh, but I agree with that tip in general, Gimut. But here, that castle is the only thing we have left. Like, in general, you can lose a lot of castles. In this game, I feel like the castle is our last lifeline. I think it's a damn if we do, damn if we don't kind of situation. The problem is he builds another one. Like this one falls and then the other one just falls next after. I feel like at this point, it is kind of like the point of no return. And I did enjoy Zordon's early game, like winning the water was great. And we still have our fishing ships working because of that. Oh, I didn't see the transport TC. It was also a good play here, grabbing the middle island. I really like the middle TC. The bears. Not having camels against Rata. True, but that's the thing about gaining game knowledge, and I think here that this was the key moment of the game. We didn't see the castle going up. Okay, here, if from this point onward we focus on getting our own castle down to secure our base, we would be in great chance. You have a great economy. This could be like 20 or 30 knights in your opponent's base. Spending the economy is very important. This could be imp. And that's basically the main thing that lost you the game. Of course, there are some things like idle TC time and everything, but spending those res. You should focus on never... Like, it's better to be spending on weak units like militias, getting upgrades you don't need and things like that, than having res in the bank. Exactly. That was the play that I think would be optimal. Selling food and buying a castle. I think that would be the correct answer here. But other than that, it is spamming. That's the main thing. I think that should be your focus. Choose a unit even before the game starts. Even before the game starts, like, there are two things that you can do in the game, which is answering questions or posing questions. At this elo, I want you to go into every game having a question that you want to pose. Like, for example, I'm Vikings, I want to go archers. Or I'm Vikings, I want to go longswords. Have one unit that you want to be your focus. If then your opponent is like, okay, I wanted to go longswords, my opponent is messing archers, okay, I need to switch. And then you adapt, but always try to have something in mind that, okay, I want to go for that military unit. I want to have, I mean, you did do that for the longboats, and you saw that the results were superb. Your longboat play paid out greatly, but you should have an equivalent for land. I'm Vikings, I want this land unit. Even if it's not the best, if you are spending resources, it will help you. And you can think about adaptation, you can think about optimization later and things like that. Because your opponent is asking a question with the Rathas. You can answer a question with a question in this game. It's like, oh, you have 20 Rathas in my base? Now I have 20 longswords in your base, and they can eat DC and eat your infantry. What do you do now? And if you had like 20 longswords, even if they are quote-unquote not the correct unit, there are a lot of units, or even 30, and they can fight the Ratha even if inefficiently and buy you time for everything else. So have one unit that you know you want to go for. At this elo, this is not the tip I would give to all elos. At this elo, try to go into the game with one unit in mind. I think that will help you. Don't worry, I still like to castle drop even at 1300. Yeah, and also, Zorin, I hope this was... I hope this was constructive for you, because it's hard to adapt the level of criticism for all elos. Now, I am going to try, just real quick before we open the next cast, because people were challenging me. I want to see if I can do the freaking... Thanks again. Nice, nice, nice. Glad you enjoyed. Let's see if I can do the Art of War, Advanced Techniques. It is the land battle. No, I don't have the... Because I set up the A2PC setup, I don't have the capture ready. PC. Game. Sun Tzu says... This just broke my streaming setup. Oh, no. Okay. I will be slightly in the way. Let's see if I can do this. Let's see if I'm fit to be a professor. Do we not have audio? I think something's broke a little bit. Oh. This will help us with the audio.
Try not to lose too many of your own soldiers.
Okay. As I said,
The enemy is preparing to attack you.
it's not very refined, the overlay and everything right now.
Soldiers that you want to send into battle by selecting...
This for me was the hardest one. The music is amazing. Back when I played, this was by far... Can you use game music though? I'm not sure, so... Because Microsoft... This one for me was the hardest one. Now it was super easy. This one used to be the hardest one for me. Probably it was balance changes. I remember that.
The right unit to repel these enemy archers.
Archers, skirms. This is me showing if I'm qualified to be a teacher in Age of Empires. Okay, I'm trying. I'm joking a little bit too much. No! Am I... Oof. Men at Arms fight with archers, yes.
Now the enemy
Scouts.
is sending a group of skirmishers. Choose the right counter and defend your land.
Yeah, these challenges, when I played them before, the pikeman one was really hard. In the time that I played this. Now it was very surprisingly easy. Okay, this is probably the easiest one. Yeah, men at arms are faster.
Enemy men at arms approach from the south. We must stop them.
Okay, this is the one that people are saying it's really difficult. Let's see if this is that hard or not. See, we even have heals. Easy.
Bonus against enemy units at a lower level. Try to lure your enemy to the hills to use the terrain to your advantage.
Okay. Ah. No. No.
In a different battle, but do not despair. The silver
My reputation is over. I want to try it again. Then I'll go back to the coaching. Just one more time. Just one more time.
in this
Hello, Dr. Nano. Hello, hello.
is against enemy attacks. Choose the unit
Silver boy. I already have the gold one, and that's eternal.
many of your own soldiers. Consult the hint.
And as I said, when I played it, the pikeman one was so hard.
The enemy is preparing to
The
attack.
pikeman one was... This one was the hardest one when I played it.
Choose the soldiers that you want to send into battle by selecting one of the unit types available to you.
Yeah, infantry is broken. Is it with scouts if it's easier? No, I will beat it with archers. Yeah, just stack your units like this. Oh, okay, that guy is a little low. Easy.
The enemy is about to launch a second attack. Choose the right unit to repel these enemy.
Oh, true. I forgot that I could use save games. Here it is, skirms. Let's focus on one archer at a time. Let's see if I can do this better. And then I'll go back to the coaching. I've just been challenged, and I love a challenge. No, why am I... Ah! Run, little skirm, run! Okay, okay. Now I will just try this one more, so I won't even do the autosave, because this time I'm going to clear them all.
And defend your land.
This one is easy. Probably the easiest one by far. GG, GG. Okay.
Storms approach from the south. We must stop them.
Let's go archers. I'm an archer player. Do I still have my hotkeys? Yes.
Units fighting from higher elevation have an attack bonus against enemy units at a lower level. Try to lure your enemy to the hills to use the terrain to your advantage.
Let's go! See? Easy! Second try!
Nearby ford to the west. Recruit some more units to repel them.
Let's go! I'm not washed. I know how to play this game. First try. I'm a beginner. What do you mean? I'm a beginner and I did it. I beat the noob allegations. I can be a coach again. Let's go. Only one. I think this one was also kind of tricky. I mean,
This time, you are allowed to select 2 unit types with which to fend
can
off
I select double men-at-arms? No, I can't. Is scouts the right call? I think scouts for the skirms. Could also go archers for the skirms, but I don't want my archers to. I think this should work. Oh, let's wait for them. We have heals here. No, retreat. Here we go, gold live on stream. I'm not washed. I know how to play this game. Let's go. I feel so happy that I did it. I'm so happy that I did it. I would be so salty if I couldn't do it. Let's go. Yeah, removing the weak ones. Now do the second one. There's the destroying the cast. Naval battles is the one that I never achieved, but I want to go back to the coaching. This was already... Thank you for indulging me in my break. Oh, and Crepost Malone is here. Let's go for Crepost Malone. There's other people in chat that also submitted, but roughly the same elo that we were coaching. Naval battles was the hardest one. But nice. I have my title. Now I can cast. Oh, yeah, naval battles with a rework. Oh, here he is. I have Crepost Malone versus Hathor. Ooh, Valley. Valley is a map. Okay, a lot of these maps I wasn't very comfortable with. The Archer micro one where you defeat everyone with archers. Oh, that would be probably not for these 3, but that's a good idea. Let's go back into Capture Age. And we are coaching Crepost Malone. Oh, I forgot. Let me just... And by the way, fun fact. Do you want to know how I switch between Age of Empires and Capture It so quickly? Like, oh, I'm back at Age of Empires. Actually, what you're watching behind me isn't Age of Empires. I recorded a video of the menu and it's a looping video of the menu behind me. You are not watching the menu of Age of Empires. I feel like it's one of those... you know, the streamers that have a cutout of a kitchen behind them and then they're like, revealed! Like what you're seeing behind isn't actually Age of Empires. That's why I can switch to this scene so easily. The fridge is not real exactly. Can't trust anyone anymore. Yeah, that's why I can switch it in. Oh, we are in Capture Age. We are in Age of Empires again. It's because I have the... It's just a recording of Age of Empires. Okay, 0 seconds of idle TC time. We are now coaching Post Malone. 1025 elo. I was just thinking that when you mentioned it. Life hacks. Wait, here we go. Scouting, finding the sheep early on. That's nice. Ooh, a little bit of rally point issues. Could be first game nerves. Ooh, already onto wood? That is a peculiar choice. I was like, that's gonna be a virtual machine, a second computer? No, it's a video. The magic of live television. Okay, we did go with a 4 on sheep. This is a peculiar choice. Yeah, probably. Yeah, it was a rally point error and then you adapted it. Now we go 2 or 3 on wood. Both is fine at this point. More starts being questionable. 2 or 3 is fine. 2 for fast scouts. Opening 3 for something like archer. Opening for very tight builds. And our next villager should lure in a boar. Or go for berries. Villagers are taking 1 sheep at a time, that is correct. Scouting with the sheep, nice scouting so far. No negatives. I often go 4, how bad is that? Not that bad. 3 is more usual. And then later, like while you are going up to feudal, you can go 8, 9, 10 depending on the build. 4 is usually more for things like a fast castle. So 4 would be situational. I'm talking about open maps. Now this is my specialization. 3 is like the generalist build. 4 is the... okay, you're going to have a great eco later on. And 2 is the... I have an aggressive timing that I want to go for, like... any sieve can open 2 villagers fast scout. 2 villagers on wood. All on the board. 4 seconds of idle TC time, that's completely acceptable. Oops, here. And hello, Bloodman. I remember Dizzy struggling with your name. Nice reaction on the scout, on taking down the scout there. And I'm sorry, Bloodman. I know it's a German name, but I do not speak German. Grabbing the second board. Correct at this time. Going to berries right now. If we are being picky, that is not something I agree with the timing. As I said, now I'm very comfortable with what I'm saying because of the map being what it is. Usually, okay, early game is where the timings are more important and more tight. And gathering food from the berries is slower than the animals. So what you usually want to get a tight build is start with the animals, only 1 on berries, and after you click up to feudal, then you can add your extra berry villagers. Because for a standard build, this would be 1 less villager in queue. Like the generalist build would be 20 pop. So this villager should not be in queue. You get loom, and after loom you click age up. And after you're going on the age up, you add more villagers to wood. Like, even right now, you could add them if you had enough food. Now you have the drop-off button. You just press a key and you drop off the food. That makes the micro easier. And now should be around the point where you move... You would move 3 villagers to berries. And now it would be correct to be on the berries now, to avoid a food crash. And we see more villagers on wood. That is absolutely correct. Nice, nice, nice. If this is an archer opening, and we still don't know what Krapost Malone is going for. If this is an archer opening, yes. 10 is for archers or for more general purposes. I have tried going 20 pop scouts, but I couldn't consistently keep the Sable NTC running in early field probably because I'm going for berries. So it is 100% because of that. And also, another thing about scout openings, I did say that every thief could do them. I was forgetting about one thing, is that pushing deer. Scout openings are way more manageable if you can push deer. Here it would be tricky. Here even I at 1600 elo would struggle. So but yeah, 20 pop you don't need to push deer. 19 pop scout you need to push deer. So 20 pop scout without the thing. Yes, and this map does have deer. They are far away, but you can push them. We see the barracks going up in a good timing. Perfect timing, actually. We see stables, and now, if we are going for scout opening, that is the one opening where we want to click double B-Dex and we want to click Horse Collar. If it's only archer, if it's archer opening, we can ignore Horse Collar for now. Scout opening, usually as soon as you age up, you get double B-Dex, exactly, and horse... Exactly! Like, timing... A few seconds of delay, but this looks pretty good. Scouts on the way, villagers on the way, this looks quite good. Some little nuances, as I said, like the villagers and everything, but the concepts are correct. I really like the fact that you added double B-Dex and Horse Collar. That is absolutely what you should do. The scout is trying to search for targets. That is correct. The build is on the fingers. Yes. Yeah, now we should focus on... We already have 3 scouts. That's a good number to start going forward. And what I'm looking at right now, walling is great. You should always wall. Even if you're the aggressor, those early palisades in open maps can make a huge difference. We do see our opponent's mana terms. I mean, they're hard to see. And the correct response to mana terms, I don't know what you're going to do. Yes, the farms are a correct option. You want to keep your wood very low in Feudal Age. The correct answer to those scouts, to those mana terms, is bringing back the scouts and fighting them with the villagers at the same time. We see no reaction. Like, the correct response... Counter pressure also works, but the ideal is to fight with all together. But ooh, that's why counter pressure also works. Nice defense there, and we are going to win. So all things considered, it was a solid defense. Pulled back the villagers. Now you are safe. Need to rebalance the economy. I think here, losing the... What you want is to make the game easier. You have a lot to figure out at home. I would click these scouts here and figure out things at home. It's very important to fix the idols and everything. And this is the correct play. Don't go like trying to be Hera and managing everything at the same time. You need time to manage. Bring the... That was really good. This is the type of movement that is hard to underestimate how good it is. Bringing the scouts back to adjust the home eco is very important. And the low word count is really nice. And this is the type of... This is the point now where we are starting to get enough of farming eco for Castle Age. Which idle TC time is very low, super solid. Lacks the gold. That's the only thing that's missing. Just like one of these farms shouldn't be a farm and should be a little bit of gold, but super tight build order. Now that our home economy is very secure and safe, now we can raid again. The thing about being the aggressor is that you decide when you fight. And you should take that advantage. Like, you should use that advantage. That means attacking when you can, but also going back when you can. I've been working on switching between eco and army with control groups. That's a major thing holding back my game, I think. Yeah, I think right now the only mistake that you are doing is no villagers on gold. You are fixing it now, but that's going to delay your castle age timing by maybe up to a minute. Because we didn't go for... Okay, we do have a market. We could sell stone, but that's more of an all-in option. How many farms is enough here? 15, 17? This is 18. Okay, the correct answer replies on what is your follow-up. If you're playing archers, 15, 16 is enough. If you're going to go scouts or men-at-arms, you could add more. You could go up to like 21, 22 even, sometimes. That's more situational. I think 15 to 18 is more common. And now that's the thing, the only thing that's delaying us, I would sell wood. Like, I cannot stress enough how important castle age timing is. It's the one thing that 20 seconds, 30 seconds make a difference. It's super urgent and players don't realize it. Just, you have the market up already, just sell some wood to click it a second earlier. And I agree that with the wood, it should be John Swordsman. We see archery range as a reply to the infantry. And we know that our opponent has some buildings here in the front. Do they have good CA? Meh, but they have good archer line. Okay, information is key. You now know that you're probably going to get castle dropped. If you see this, it is important to understand what this means. If I see this in one of these games, I know that a castle drop is on the way. And this is a good counter tower. The audacity of also this man. I am coaching, but I'm also being oh, true, crap post. Actually, I was saying castle, but crap post. And you're the crap post Malone. You should be one to know the crap post. Nice, keeping our units alive. Just keep them alive. Ooh. Go away. No, don't even try to take the villagers. Leave them alive. Okay, that was nice. He's taking your stone. He's taking your name. Okay, these farms... Okay. I really don't like these farms. Usually adding farms is good. Early Castle Age is the worst possible time to add farms. Because early Castle Age, we've just opened so many options. There's a lot of techs. There's Siege Workshop. There's University for crossbows. There's University for ballistics for crossbows. There's Monastery to grab relics. There's second or third TC. Early Castle Age is the age of opportunities. Yes, our farms will start expiring, and this is one of the worst times in the game to add farms. Especially since if you are behind, it could be like a reaction farm. I'm pointing out the small things because this is a coaching stream. I really don't like the two farms here. Just a small detail, but games are often decided. I like the timing on Wheelbarrow. I really like the timing on Wheelbarrow. And TC, yeah, TC is nice. TC is nice, but we saw our opponent on stone. So third TC would be a big mistake in my opinion. We need to deal with the threats, and we have Heiguang Cavalry. That's a good call. Even though we are up against a lot of spears, so we need to add something to help deal with the spears. But they aren't upgraded yet. The Heiguang should perform nicely. Lack of micro out of the enemy. But yeah, the Heiguang will not be happy versus the spears. A good answer as well. We talked about the importance of wood in this age. Instead of these two farms, a siege workshop and actually siege workshop would be great because it gives you siege to deal with the buildings. And it gives you scorpions. But yeah, Shanbei raiders are also a good option. With are you the one with a Shanbei? No, they aren't. They aren't. Why no Tiger Calf? That's the wrong sieve. That's the other sieve. Both Shanbei Raiders and Tiger Calf are the way. Exactly. No worry, Happy Danny. No worry. Welcome, welcome. No way. Who get it? Siege workshop, like that. That's the correct call, because we are facing off against infantry and buildings. Siege counters both. The skirms, I'm not a huge fan of adding skirms here. We saw nothing that warrants skirms. I like the counter rates. If you're under a lot of pressure, going for counter rate is nice. Should we be on stone? We have no safe stone. This is our stone, and it's quite exposed. And what we see from the siege workshop, I would like a scorpion first and then some rams to take down the TC and that's the thing. We see the what situation, these two farms. It's such a small thing. And most of us play without a farm reseed, and these are two more farms that are getting. Is doing skirm and Cav good here. Did a lot of upgrades. We have the Cav established. Skirms can be a good complement to Cav, but often spending gold is cheaper. I wouldn't mind a few archers. It's not cheaper, but it's easier. At this stage of the game, getting gold is easier. But I prefer siege here. Instead of the skirms, just go for siege. Battering rams are nice, but add 1 or 2 scorps and we are Gucci. Great job on the ILTC time. This is enough army that if you want, you can go to your opponent's base and pressure a lot. You will be exposed in the meantime, but one thing that's great about your base layout is that it's all guarded by DCs and towers. Bloody hell, we should not skirm skill out. True. Pierce rate much worse than Cav. Yeah. Yeah, the John Swordsman with the battering rams, this is a good play. And 4 is a nice number of battering rams. It's the, I think in my YouTube thumbnail it has 4 siege rams, battering rams. This is a good number. You don't trickle ram. A shame, like 1 scorpion here would make such a difference to help deal with those skirms. Like now the skirms are in, you have the Johns, true, but 1 scorpion just annoying. And scorpions are cheap. That's one of the reasons why you go for 1 scorpion. It's that Mangles, you can go friendly fire, it can go wrong, it's a huge investment, they can get sniped. 1 scorpion can just do so much. 4 sends a message, true, and 4 is, I like 4. It's enough for a castle even. Better to have more than to have few. nice time to add another TC. I feel like this was your TC timings are good in my opinion. We are house great spending of resources. The fact that none of your resources are soaring high. It's weird because, for example, right now you are playing this really well. I would say this is like 1300 play right now in the spending of resources. And your Feudal and Dark Age did have a few tiny mistakes, like going to berries too soon. And those are things that are very easy to correct. I feel like my macro fundamentals are much better than my army control. And macro is more important than army control. You can reach 1500 elo with good macro only, in my opinion. And you should, for example, I like army control. I just, you saw it. I got the gold medal in that challenge. So I go for archers. You should go for builds that match your style. Oof. So, John Swordsman and things like that, infantry is a good play. Infantry is a good play for macro players, because infantry is the best performing unit on its own. Archers need a lot of babysitting, knights are like the mid, infantry is the strongest unit when living up to its own devices. Losing Cav against the Pikes when we have Swordsman is bad, isn't it? Yeah, it's the like, but like, as I said, I don't feel like, oh, control your units better is good coaching advice, even though it is true. Maybe go forward with the John Swordsman first and then follow up with the Heiguang Cavalry and GG's call. Yeah, I think the main thing that I noticed... Thank you for the coach. Yeah, I hope it helps. Like, I've coached friends before and on call and watching their POV, and it was different. This is my first time doing rec coaching, and I hope it is being useful. I hope I'm not just babbling away. I'm trying to give my thoughts, and I never know how much it comes across and how useful it is. This is, I think, the easiest to fix mistake you had in the game. Only... This is the correct number 4, but only send the extra 3 after you get this food. And then I think you should be able to go 20 pop feudal very coherently with almost any civ. And then it was just, that was a tiny thing. Your farming eco in feudal was superb. That's something, and your walling was also a good play. Really good play with the walling. Here, this could have gone worse, but you only lost 1 villager, so what matters is how the things played out. You played out well. And then, as I said, retreated your units. That was a good call. It's also I'm not just complimenting people to be nice. It's important to reinforce the positives so that you keep doing them. What does one have to do to get some coaching from you? Oh, this was just reacting to a post on T90 Titans League Community Edition, and I'm picking people at random. This is how I'm doing this time. This is my first time... Oops. I had the double PC thing. This is my first time doing rec coaching. So I'm also doing a test drive. I have no idea if people would enjoy this, if this would be good content. So this is also a test drive. I have no structure for coaching yet because I have no idea what I'm doing. Great content. Nice. Love it. You're doing great. Nice, 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 nice. Everyone is now going to compliment me to get access to free coaching. Let me go over here to the guess this man up. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, we have coached Zordian, proposed Malone, Jolts. Oh, Pygmy Giant was here. And this is a bit higher elo. I'm trying to go for a little bit of all elo ranges. I saw Pygmy Giant was here before. He's in my list of players who registered beforehand. He's one of the highest ones that will be casting in terms of elo. Let's go for Pygmy Giant. It's so strange because I'm used to casting entire sets, and casting one map you can go from player to player way faster. I was like, what replay is this? I have the replay from freaking Art of War in my capture range. Ah, yes, let's go for Art of War. Let's see what I did well. Nice, nice, nice. Bloodman. Pygmy Giant. Oh, Quarry, Stranded, and Valley. Quarry would be a good one. Ooh, and it has Britons, even though I'll be coaching the other player. Ooh, and this is a human match? Art of War is great. I will go for even though it's humans and it's different, it is... Oh, let me update the overlay before sending you guys over to Capture Age. Pygmy Giant, or Pygmy Giant, as some call this legend, from the lead bracket. It is the highest elo that we've coached so far. Wait, why is my Capture Age without audio? I'm going to reset Capture Age. Oh, I know what... I'm an idiot. It's because I'm using two computers and I have the audio routing through my stream overlay into my headphones. So if I'm not streaming Capture Age, I'm not listening to Capture Age. That's all that was happening. I'm coaching, but I'm also learning. This is my first ever stream with two PC setup. I did skip a bit of Dark Age, but I think that's fine. We are pushing gear and human action. I wonder if this is going to be... In this map, I'm expecting... I mean, both options could work. This could be a ramming map. I am curious to see. I'm going caster mode instead of coaching mode. And this is good that we went higher a little bit on elo, because now I wonder if Pygmy Giant is going to apply those concepts that I was just describing. 3 on wood. If he goes more on wood, he's probably going economy, booming. If he doesn't go any more on wood, that's more of a standard thing. Starting with the sheep, finding the boars. Next villager will go to that boar. I'm not well practiced with humans, I picked it a little randomly. No worries. I'm more focused on strategic aspects that transcend all civilizations. House to meal. Firing on the boar. Clean. Of course, you could be a little bit faster and... and garrison fire the final volley, but I don't do that, so if I don't do that, then currently I'm 1400 elo because yesterday I wanted to play and I was super tired and I went on a losing spree, but I see myself as a 1600 elo. Still, and I agree. Sometimes being lazy, accepting that you are lazy is better and just playing your style. And we see the villager builds the mill and it will be just... I said one villager on berries. What? No! Pygmy giant! I identify as the 1800. Let's go!
What?
You were the chosen one, Pygmy giant. You were supposed to... Okay, it's 2. It's not 4. Forgot to bring back those sheep. Grabbing the board, that's more important.
What?
Probably some rally point situations, like 2 villagers went forward there. Not the best board placement, but it works. It's serviceable. And now, this is correct. I would add 1 more to food before sending the 2 to wood. I would go... Oh, and he adds 1 more to food? No. Okay. I would go 13 on food before going 5 on wood. Though this is 1 more villager. 2 even. So this... You need to be aware when you're doing things like this. This delays your castle age timing a little bit. The fact that you went 5 on wood a bit earlier, now even adding some more. All of this is delaying, not your castle age, your feudal age timing. Ideally, you only want 1 on berries and 3 on wood, and then your villager number 18 and 19 also go on wood. I often describe that as a general build order because it works for everything. Build orders don't exist. I'm coaching! I need to talk about build orders, that's what coaches do. And if you're moving to the mining camp right away... Oh, we have a lamer on our hands! If you're playing in a tournament and you see these chances, take them. We'll never judge you for it. If it's tournament play, you should be playing to the max of your opportunities. And you should lame if you have the chance to, in my opinion. Yeah, the 2 on gold this early usually can mean 2 things. Either fast castling or archers. You're playing humans, so I hope this is pressure. I hope this is archers. Alright guys, gonna head out. Sadly, I will love more coaching streams and will definitely be there for them. I can't explain the 2 on gold here, starting to realize. Yeah, cheers. Thanks for dropping by. I will, of any viewer that I have, I will never tell people, oh, you need to be there on every one of my streams and spend the entire time there. I know that people are busy. Just dropping by and supporting what you can is more than enough. And that goes out to the lurkers as well. Is this a bugged gen? Oh no, it's just okay, I don't think it's a bugged gen. Bloodman, thank you for the follow. I'm like, oh, there's no commitment here. You can drop, you can abandon, and Bloodman is like, oh, I like the sound of that. Yeah, this feels, you were saying Pygmy Giant, and this feels like it. At this elo, we have blacksmith on stable. Plan is... What? Wait, what? Am I still alive? Not having a plan is rough. At this elo. Okay, I'm still alive. We see a little bit of everything. I would like to see more farms. You don't have enough wood. Because you're doing a lot of decisions that fight against each other right now. You're on gold, but you're going scouts, and you're not going fast castle, so you do not need the gold. You didn't click double beat X. Okay. Massive red flag. Click double bit X. Pygmy giant. And if you're going scouts, you should also get horse collar. Got a bump in the connection though. Yeah, I think things were a bit iffy, but now they're back and fine. Yeah, get double bit X. Cannot express how important it is. You see archers out of your opponent, so this would be a good time to add your own archery range and some skirms. I mean, these buildings are now in a little bit of nowhere.
Yay.
The forward villager gets scouted. Oh, you can snipe that.
Yay.
Okay, you are making things messy. That's a good plan. The problem is, when you are making things messy, you need to ensure that you are causing more damage than you are taking. And here we saw idle TC time going up. We see scouts keep falling to pikes. I keep mixing up pikes and spearmen. We see we are lacking our basic eco upgrades. And now we had a second DC.
What?
Like, I don't dislike the second DC play. I think that's a good play. And especially, I like the walling on the front as well. Mandatum?
Yay.
And we know that, I mean, we are playing against the Britons. So skirms will be good throughout the game. We see horse collar before double beat X.
Ready.
Pygmy giant. Double beat X. When I talk about things that are easy to improve on, your res collected fall behind. I've heard some high level players say you should like want this until you reach like 1500 hilo. I could see some validity to that, but I think especially for tournament play, you need to have variety. You need to have more versatility of options. You see the archers are knocking on your door, and we need to respect our opponent's pressure. Often we are like, oh, I had a plan. In this case, we didn't, but like, I want to go fast castle. Army is knocking at my door. Well, your opponent had to invest into that army, and you investing into shutting that down will almost always be worth it. And some units have soft counter, other units have hard counters. Archers are very hard countered by skirms, and we have the additional bonus that we are the humans, so our archery ranges are cheaper. We do see some scouts on the way. You should have the scouts. I like that. Not a big fan of skill barding armor in the situation. You should add some skirms. And we see we are floating 550 gold. In the middle to late game, that's absolutely fine. In Feudal and Dark Age, where things are so precise, this is 300 res or 400 floating res. Like, I'm discounting the 200 for clicking up to Castle Age. That are held captive in our banks. I mean, fully upgraded scouts in Feudal Age are one of the best units. But your opponent has spikes as well. You need to be careful. Okay, you were careful. The 2 TCs will help with the defense. I don't dislike this tower, to be honest. Because archer pressure is the type of pressure that suffers the most from tower play. One tower can nullify so much archer damage. So in this case, and it's defending gold, it's defending stone, it's between 2 TCs. I'm usually not the biggest tower fan. I really like this tower. This was a good play. And you, right now, you are aware that you have 2 TCs. Buying time is good. It will allow your eco to snowball. And just a pity that we don't have the whole X. Nice reaction, garrisoning right away. Our LTC is... Yeah, it's quite high. I understand because of the 2 DCs and scrappy start. And oh, I do like this. Of course it is, you have 2 of them. Oh, the opponent is definitely ahead. Like, Pygmy Giant doesn't have access to all of this data that we have right now. But I think the opponent is ahead. Pygmy Giant can still win the game. And the opponent is Britons. Their DCs are dirt cheap. So if he didn't sell the stone, that we know he didn't, he can just drop 2 DCs right away. We should definitely do ahead and he go with the second DC. Yes. He is ahead now. And like he will be searching Castle Age and can produce villagers at the same time. But I feel like of all of these things, the double pickaxe harms more than all of them. And we are playing Britons. Only by 2 or 3. Oh, the thing is that we don't need to account for Castle Age because we have a TC producing villagers while we are researching Castle Age. So it is a bigger lead than that, than 2 or 3 bills. Because the TC right now is still... he can still produce villagers while going to Castle Age. Second stable, and we are playing versus the Britons. I would love to see Skirms. Because Britons can only do one thing, but they do it very well. I often talk about the balance. That's a third stable? I think it's just a second. It's just a second. Oh no! It's another one here. Third stable. You are absolutely correct, Post Malone. Because we need to balance 2 things in the game. I talked about asking questions and answering. Providing answers. Britons are kind of a one-trick sieve. So even though our questions would be like, oh, I have, what's the name of the step lancers in your economy and things like that, we need to answer the question of the crossbows. We are playing Britons, we know crossbows will be on the field, and we need to answer them, and we need skirms. Because mangoes are usually a great choice against crossbow death balls, but highlight the word usually. Against Britons, they can outrange the mangoes. Towers, castles, and skirms are your best friends here. The knight against this mess, supported by pikes or spears, won't have a good time. Would see or keep check be a good follow-up later on after so? Yes! Or even, like, after adding skirms, you could even go for knights or... you can keep skirms being your core ranged unit. Depends on how the game is going. Ooh. You are scouting your opponent has the classic aggression. Scorpions are better than Mango. The archers can steal micro against the Scorpions easily because it's Britons, they have a lot of range. But the Mango has that thing that it's easier to micro against. It's more expensive. I prefer Scorpions over Mangoes if you have the siege. Here we see some attacks on the economy. And this is really good play versus archers. When you're playing versus archers, targeting the reinforcements is massive. Because that will allow you to build enough knights to take this battle actually head on. This is really good play versus archer play. This is superb. 10 unit kills by these knights. Targeting your opponent's production is great. Because now, this could be like 20 archers, there's only 16. And you're not allowing them to group up and to... Your opponent should keep them garrison and wait for the assembly. Because what's happening is that usually you wouldn't reach a point where your knights could catch up with the archer numbers and take efficient fights. Yeah, that conversion was deserved. That one wasn't, so it wasn't a conversion. Now you're starting to get the numbers that would soon be intimidating. Oh, you know that you can see there that archers don't have ballistics. Yeah, that's the thing. Archers are so good against knights. And scorpions are decent, but because these are Britons, I would love to see skirms. I know it's tricky. You already have a lot of eco. Just take into a lot of upgrades, and still no double BX. Like a ballistics. Yes, this is the lead bracket, Nikito. And the archers, if they aren't sleeping, they are... Yeah, they can easily melt the corp. Okay. When the numbers start getting like this, now the battle between archers and knights is decided by engagements. It is possible for these knights to win against those archers if they have a good engagement. If the archers can just keep trimming away and doing exactly what they are doing. Ooh. That's the thing. If you are paying attention, the Mango would never do this. But players aren't always paying attention. And, like, I was saying exactly this when I was coaching the previous match, is that archers are the hardest unit to play. They are the unit you have to babysit the most. Good engagement there. Great play with a Mango. And good acknowledgement, like, we are winning the military, we can go for some advantage. And if these are going for a castle, I like the play. It's like, when we gain map control, we need to convert that into a tangible advantage. Because map control doesn't mean anything. It's intangible. It's what can you gain from map control. It is the 9 resources, it is relics, it is vision, it is a castle in your opponent's face. And that is converting your military control at the moment into something that you couldn't do without military control. So this is a good follow-up. So you're not too upset that I didn't make any terms. No, I'm not that upset. Oh, you just now clicked the double VTuber. Yeah, this was a great castle. And now you should be winning the game. Yay. What a momentum shift. That's the thing about archers. I'm an archer player. I've suffered these momentum shifts. Especially archers versus knights. Yeah, now, oh, this is a good play. It is messy, but I like it. It's like, as I said before, how can we keep extending our lead? Imperial Age. Avoid throwing away too many units, click to imp, and trap your opponent down. And it's funny because I am randomly picking match. I have no idea if I'm going to pick matches where the player wins or loses, but I feel like I'm casting a lot of players who are winning. And that just goes to show that if you register to be coached by TheNando, you gain victories even before you are coached. The power of my coaching, it even affects you in the past. Yeah, Imp is on the way. Getting the monastery now to grab the relics. We have the gold control. Time traveling coaching, true. I was about to say, this is another thing you should do. When you're winning, the mindset switches, and it should be 1, how do I seal the win? And 2, how do I prevent my opponents from doing a comeback? I would even go as far as to stonewall both sides. A lot of players underestimate the amount of peace that stonewalls can bring. They're like, oh, I'm spending rest, it can be used for castles and castles are neater. Oh, humans don't get stonewalls, true. The one civ that doesn't get stonewalls. I think it's the only one. No, goths? Do goths get stonewalls? Goths. Goths, yeah, okay, I had it correct. Nice. Goths and humans. So yeah, just palisade. Taking down these buildings is nice. Like, sending your army, trickling it to its death is bad. Taking down these buildings is a good play. You are ahead, you need to think about not losing. And doing a good job now that we are in a lead to keep building villagers. I would even consider adding 1 or 2 more TCs at this point. Even not just for a lot of villager production, but if we get raided, we can then reboom faster. Like, since you have the res, I mean, right now you're a bit lacking in the wood department. And I would like to see a trap on the field. You have... Oh, there is one. What's that trap targeting? Target the castle. What are you targeting? Oh, the TC first. Okay, okay, okay. Britons. Yes, the best team in the game. And we see our opponent has a lot of pikemen. So we asked such a powerful question that our opponent had to go for an answer instead of asking his own questions. At this point, I wouldn't mind adding something to deal with the pikemen. Probably if these get upgraded into paladin or something, they will just shred those pikemen. But you have castles, you have some archer upgrades, adding some keep checks would be great here. Yes, Blue Warrior. Adding some keep checks would be a great choice here. You don't want to lose your mobility advantage, so mobile CA, you already have the castles up in the front to produce them. Like, going for 6, 7, 8 different types of units is often bad. Going for 1 is better. Okay, now that's another way to deal with the pikes. Most best army comps are 2 unit types, with 1 supporting, like Mango supporting. So Cavalier and Keep Check, that's a huge gold intensive unit comp, but you can do it because of the gold. You are getting counter raided. That's funny. It is a very intensive gold comp, but you have the gold, so you can go for it. But later on, we could convert the Cavaliers into... replace them with Hussars in our unit comp. We could replace the keep checks with skirms if needed, if this goes super late. But usually, having like 1 melee, 1 ranged, 1 gold, 1 thrash is a good unit comp. Like Cavalier supported by skirms, or Hussars supported by crossbows. 2 units is usually a great option for an army comp. It's your go-to standard. These good castle placements, by the way. And we see Paladin on the way. And Paladin is such a powerful upgrade. What do they have? They are faster. Just needs to run in through. But also, I don't mind taking the time. You're doing so much damage that you don't need to overcommit. Of course, the archers will be doing trickle damage against you. I just wanted to see Paladin on the field. Like, no, my opponent will resign. No! Yeah, but here, great engagement there with I think the knights by themselves will do nothing. The mango by itself will do nothing. Having both of them was a great call. That's what makes this work. The fact that you had both units. And that you took your time to mass a clump of units. So I think you played early castle really well. Feudal Age, as I said, I think if you just go 1-2 berries and villager number 18 and 19, so the last 2 villagers on wood, you can consistently click Feudal Age with 19 villagers. And that's very solid. And then as soon as you click up, get lumber gap. And I think the lack of a plan in this game really harmed you. Feudal Age is usually you have a lot of plans and you can go for one plan into other. For example, you can go scouts and then scouts into archers is a build. You can go men at arms and men at arms into archers is an option, or men at arms into skirms. But having one core idea usually helps. And here it was a little bit all over the place. But GG. Yeah, the main thing would be check the upgrades and try to get moments in the game. It's good to build up habits. For me, it's always the age ups. Like when I click Castle Age, I double check all of my upgrades, and if I'm missing, I have that moment where I double check them. Try to get routines in the game that will help you not forget things. Like, okay, I reached Feudal, I should click double BitX, that's usually automation. But if not, I could have sworn I clicked double BitX. Yeah, that's, if you haven't, that's good to have a second moment in the game that you know, okay, this is the time where I usually go for checking my upgrades. Let me see, who am I going to coach next? Is anyone here who has registered in the chat, like in the post that I did? Like in my list? Thanks for the coaching. You're welcome. I hope it helps. I did, but I'm going to bed. Oh, but just because you are here, I will do you next. Like, since I have VODs on Twitch are limited in terms of how long they stay, but I stream on Twitch and YouTube. All my streams are double streams. Oh, and Nadia Nova. Okay, I have in me for 2 more coaches. I will coach both of you. And it's funny because I had some friends, like streamer friends, signing up for the coaching, and I didn't want to be accused of benefiting my streamer friends. And it turns out that I'm not coaching any of them. Wait, at the same time, wait, let me check. Oh, you're going to bed at the same time. Okay. I was going to say, if you fought against each other, I could try to coach both of you at the same time. Okay, let me go up to Capture Age, and we will start with Wraith Kierguard. Where is... Okay. We just did... Oh, Monocle. I haven't coached on Monocle yet today. Ooh, and these are 2 civs that I am very good with. Romans versus Ethiopians. Monocle is a great map. Okay, and we have Reed or Raid? Reed Kierguard. That sounds like a reference that I do not know. Playing as the Romans against Accent with Ethiopians. Let's go for immersion for the player vision. This map is rough. Like, And a lot of my build orders that are like standard for standard maps in a map like this, they all turn wonky. Oh, and I forgot. Let me just add the elos before everyone starts asking. And this is not a lead bracket. This is a sand bracket. And read is 181 elo. So let's see how things go today. I don't understand this map at all. Yeah, this map is very aggressive. This map, you have a lot of food around the map, and you need to go for it. Monocle is a great map if you have Britons. Every map is a great map if you have Britons. Every day is a good day to play with the best nation of Age of Empires. Okay, 6 on food, 7th on wood, 8th on wood as well, that is correctus.
Salve.
Salve.
Impera.
Needs... Ah, nice, nice, nice. These lumber camps
Salve.
can backfire. They are neat, they are walling, but your villagers can start bumping a lot into each other. I know that some pro players never do these type of lumber camps because they only have one venue of access. Like, for example, this villager will have to go all the way around, and then your villagers can start being wonky. I would prefer... Okay, this house kind of ruins this spot, but maybe just here. This is better in the long run, but it can cause some consequences. And so far, grabbing the deer, grabbing the boar, everything very clean. A little bit of idle TC time. Oof. Oh, nice saving of the villager there. And that... Okay, yeah, no, don't send the same villager there. Is the opponent trying to lane that? Okay, okay. Yeah, that was unfortunate time. The most important thing was not losing the villager. The second most important thing now is that when we get pressured, we get flustered. And I would give you the same advice that I... Oh, you only have enough food for one. Try to drop off food and now queue up 3 villagers. Queue up 4 villagers. Like, it's one thing that will help you with the idle TC time. Right now, there's nothing else that you can spend food on. Sometimes you will be cannibalizing resources, like, oh, I have a lot of resources in queue that I needed for other thing. Right now, in this moment of the game, there's nothing else that you can spend food on but villagers. You don't have a barracks up, so when you can, just spam, click that button, spam it. It will make the game easier for you. Yeah, now we have all the villagers in queue. If we have res, just spam them for now. And if you have, that's why sometimes build orders help. If you have a target number of villagers, for example, if it's me, if I'm playing, I would now click 3 more villagers, then loom, and then I know that my resources here are a good representation of how far away I am from feudal. Like 3 villagers, that's exactly what I would do. Now loom after, and then I know exactly how my timing is looking for feudal age. The reason why we go for build orders, it's not because they are difficult. It's because they make it so that we don't have to think as much. It is hard. At first, it feels like a memorization. Then it's a, I turn off my brain and things just work kind of thing. Like, right number of villagers. 19 or 20 would be nice. Unpunished situation. In maps like this, I wonder if this is auto-score or not. In tournament maps, you need to be more careful because TC spawns are more coherent. In ranked ladder Arabia, you don't know where the opponent TC is. These maps tend to be very symmetrical. I like the housing placements on these gaps. That will make the fence easier.
Salve.
12 on wood is a little bit too much. Usually 10 would be the maximum for when researching Feudal Age. And we do see militia on the way. We are playing Romans, so I like the militia choice. And I like, okay, when we are playing militia, I like to go for the long distance gold mining. And this is not that long distance. I kind of like this. Because that will help you be able to afford long swordsman. Helps with planning, yo. My name's Calorie White, yo. My husband's Walter White, yo. the freaking yo. I'm currently watching Breaking Bad for the first time, so I have the Breaking Bad memes on my brain. I do apologize. And nice getting men at arms. What do we do behind this? Does long distancing mean you're not making men at arms or archers as follows? Long distancing, I would start long distancing, and now, especially with this amount of wood, I would stop long distancing. Long distancing is something temporary. It's not a long-term plan. Nice timing here. The thing that this is good, what I would do now is don't look at this anymore. Even if you lose the units, you lose them. We have 800 wood. Wood needs to be converted to farms in the Feudal Age. You never want to see your wood above 300. And right now, maybe you're looking at this, you're seeing, what will my opponent do? What will they do after? It's like the meme, cool kids don't look at explosions. That's what you need to do. You did the explosion, now you don't look at it. You just look at your base. Yes, and you fix... Okay, queue up a lot of villagers. Maybe a blacksmith to get armor upgrade. Oh, nice tower. That's a good call. I have wood for 5, but 5 barracks would be a mistake. 10 farms is the correct answer here. Villagers and farms. Because... think about that. You are killing villagers, true, that's denying resources. But every 25 seconds of idle TC time that you have is you killing one of your own villagers. You killed them before it was born. You killed them via time travel. So here... It feels great to kill 5 villagers, but you are behind in economy because you have killed 10 of your villagers in idle TC time. Roughly 10? Yeah, it's about to reach 10. And that aggression is good, but one of the things that aggression does, Age of Empires, we are managing these resources here on top, wood, food, and everything. We are playing human versus human. That's the coolest thing about Age of Empires. Some of the resources that we have that aren't showing here is like our attention spam, our energy levels. And here you're damaging your opponent's attention spam and making him panic and things like that, but the amount of attention that you're investing into the attack is damaging yourself more. We need that town center to be working, and especially the farms. Farms win games. Farms in Feudal Age, if there's one lesson that all ELOs should carry, there was one player here today that did amazing jobs on the farms. The F in Feudal Age stands for farms. Yes, we are still long distancing the gold, but I think the lack of farms is more severe. If I'm focusing on what is key, I think lack of farms here is worse. Farms or... Of course, I'm talking generic map. In this map, you can mill the fish. You have another advantage with this pressure, is that you're... attack is a good defense. The fact that you have this on your opponent's face means that your opponent's army isn't here. We have an advantage, we have map control, we have army presence, and we are not reaping the rewards from that advantage. That advantage allows us to go safely to the fish. We go now, but the thing is, our economy in the present mirrors our decisions 5 minutes ago. And if this happened, this balance happened 5 minutes ago, you could be clicking up to castle right now. And that's once you reach the castle, you would your opponent. After market blacksmith, if we want shorefish, what should we... If we went shorefish, what should we spend the extra wood on? That's a great question. And the answer comes before. The answer is, if you have a lot of extra wood, you're not making a mistake now. It means that your eco wasn't balanced properly 2 minutes ago. You shouldn't reach the point that you have extra wood to spend in the first place. When you're up on the way to Castle Age, you can float wood, because once you reach the Castle Age, you need Siege, you need Monastery, you need University, you need TC, so floating wood while in the way to Castle Age is good. Floating wood mid-feudal is bad, and now we see this wood being floated, and this wood being floated is not a mistake being made now. Now I think the economy is getting more and more balanced. This wood being floated is a result of our lack of resources for Castle Age that we did 3 or 4 minutes ago. Like, I can give you a very concrete example. By the way, sorry, I'm focusing a lot on the economy because it is key. Good choice in respecting your opponent's units. He went for archers, he went for skirms. Good call. You want to play militia because you are Romans, but you have to respect your opponent's decisions. That was good military decision. Getting horse collar and double beat-axe now. That's also good. I wouldn't mind even... Was fletching before armor good if we were skirms? It is good. Because it makes you match the range of the archers. I don't mind. I think it's situational. I think in some situations, and especially in Castle Age, armor is more important. In Feudal Age, I don't mind going fletching first for the skirms. I don't think that's a mistake. And we are doing a lot of pressure, so fletching is even better. Oof. That's good awareness by the opponent to go counter raiding, and good. It is rough to fight back with the villagers, but you're doing the best out of a horrible situation. The 2 skirms with the villagers fighting, I think that was a good response, to be honest. Doesn't seem like it because you lost so many villagers, but I feel like if you didn't do it, you would have lost even more. I think I will lose all villagers anyway. Yeah, exactly. I don't dislike the sending in the villagers to fight. Wheelbarrow, in this context I like wheelbarrow, and I like the market. Because we need to click up to castle. I like wheelbarrow because we have so much... I mean, we don't have a lot of economy because we lost our villagers, but in long feudals I don't mind wheelbarrow. And hello, Moose3, welcome, welcome. And then after wheelbarrow, it should be straight to Castle Age. And then in Castle Age, like, I'm talking a lot about economy because that's what's been harming you. In military, you're doing great. I would just keep at it. You can add some Scorpions or some Siege to help, but I mean, Skirms and Militia Line are performing great. I would just upgrade my units and keep... Don't change a winning team until your opponent forces you to. The mining camp is here.
Salve.
Yeah, I think the two main mistakes of this game were idle TC time and lack of farming. Hello there. Okay, we have 3 on the defense. 3 should be enough to make that opponent catch up on in idle T. True, but that's a good habit in... I play, for example, Go, the board game of Go. And a good habit that you have is that you shouldn't consider your opponent doing a mistake a good play out of you. Like, the fact that your opponent catched up with idle TC time doesn't make that your idle TC time is not severe. You should focus yourself first. That's basically the thing. And the economy is now kind of rough. I like the 10 villagers on queue just because we need villagers. And I would love to see, we see man-at-arms. We see squires. Okay, this is the thing that can happen a lot. Is that once we reach Castle Age, it is a time where we gain by having 2 production buildings of our core units. So if we had 2 barracks here, that would help. But right now, I don't think that would be the good call. I'm saying it, but I don't think it would be a good call because we don't have economy. 29 villagers is a very low number. Our main focus in this situation is evening out the vill count, and this is how you do it. Nice raids. I mean, this is not a raid, this is a rave. Look at them go. The raids are very nice. That's okay. Both of you, for your elo, I mean, 981 is already quite high. You're doing a good job at being active with the army. And the trickle damage, skirms only do tickles. But the tickle that they do builds up. And are these... If these are elite, they would melt the... You're not afraid of those archers. Not patrolling will get you at... Yeah. Doink the farm. Doink the farm. Doinking a farm is basically these 1 HP farms. You can just throw a javelin there and the farm is gone. Yeah, and your opponent loses 60. Yeah, things are still going nice. Getting some extra gold here. We see crossbow out of our opponent, but we are already playing... We are already using the answer to crossbow, so we are fine. This is nice reaction. Very good. You spotted it as fast as I am, and I'm casting. The problem with playing skirms versus crossbows is that if you both go for the same thing, your opponent is doing the right call. Your opponent doesn't want to fight you head-on. Head-on fights, you win. If you both go, oh, I want to fight my opponent's economy, your opponent will win because archers are more of an attacking unit, skirms are more of a defensive unit, archers shred villagers. One thing that would help you right now, but your economy isn't balanced for it, would be university and ballistics. You did that. The preemptive evacuation of the economy was a good call. You don't need to react super fast if you're already reacting beforehand. Yeah, even with those numbers, skirms are just such a strong counter. Yeah, you're having a little bit of wood problem, and that's the thing. In Feudal Age, you have nothing to spend wood on. You reach Castle Age, and then wood is at a premium. Yeah, the numbers, and those are Ethiopian crossbowmen. They are probably the best crossbowmen in the game versus skirms. Ethiopian crossbowmen are the best crossbowmen in the game versus skirms. So what we need right now is more production. And when you saw what your opponent was doing, that they have an army that doesn't want to fight you head on. So they go to your economy. That is this army, exactly. This is your army that wants to go to your opponent's face. And I keep struggling with what in Castle Age in other games. I think what happens is... Oof. Is like... it's like a snowball. I will open like paint after just to explain this. I just think like we are reaching the climax of the game. Because I will explain to you because I think why you are having word issues in early Castle Age. Nice focus fire on the wheels. If you had a little bit more numbers there, that's gonna be so close. I'm now. This is no longer coaching mode. I'm caster mode right now. And the castle will go up. You don't have enough skirms to deny it. That was so close. And I think that seals the deal on you. And as I said, I think you did very well in the military department. Your early fights and everything, your military control and everything. I think it was really the eco setup was the main thing that harmed you in the game. I like this. This I like. And I like the ramp play on the castle though. If there's one thing that will keep you in the game, is this ramp play. Of course, Ethiopian crossbows are also good versus a little bit better than average versus siege. They have some of the best archer line in the game, the Ethiopians. If you add just one more ramp, but I mean, wood once again is a problem. One shot stops this. True. Salve. And we are fighting here, but your opponent now has a better... I think the writing's on the wall. I could afford only 2 reps. Exactly. And I think this TC will not be... It is a cheeky, nice play, but I don't think it will be enough. And then I will explain. I'm talking as if the match is close to over. With this silo, we never know. And I think the main reason why you lose is, of course, you don't have your opponent had more working economy. You can see here in the rest, like kind of even, more even than I thought. But Ethiopian crossbows are just so strong. Just passing. Yeah. GG. GG, well played. And now I'm going to open up a very professional coaching software just to explain to you what I think is happening in your games from your economy. And that's why build orders and things like that help. Oh, this is very bright. Let me grab a... Okay, this is dimmer. Okay, let me go into this professional software known as Paint. Okay, what do I think is happening in your games? You have like, this is your chart of res. And for example, this is wood. I don't even have my drawing tablet. And you have a lot of villagers working on wood. You're not building farms. And you reach a point where you have like 15,000 wood. And you are harvesting a lot of wood and spending almost none. There's a lot of supply. And there's no demand. And this is early feudal. And then you're like, oh, I need to get up to castle age. Giga Chan mouse coordination. I need to get up to castle age. I need food. Let's use the market. Let's use everything. And let's go with our wood down here. And this will be our food. And our food will be very low, very low, very low. And suddenly we spend all this wood. And our food starts growing to go up to castle age. And now we are adding farms. We are doing everything. And now we reach castle age. Like we spent our food and we are gaining more food. Because we added a lot of... This is a boost in supply of food. But a boost in supply of food means a boost in demand of wood. Pretend that the demand is written here. And now we are spending a lot of wood and gaining none. And getting a lot of food that we don't need. And basically, if we have a good professional economy, like adding farms earlier, what will happen is that our resources, like, I'm going to use two colors. This is supply. This is our supply, like this is how much we are producing of wood. And here we even move some villagers to the farm, so we are producing this. And this is our demand of wood. It's like 0. Then we had a spike here. And then we are spending more. And our food situation is like, we want castle age. We are here. And instead of reaching that with this line, we are reaching it with this woo. And what we want is our wood demand to grow gradually. And our things to be more matched. And I think that's why I talk about adding farms earlier. And sometimes build orders. Because I feel like your economy curves could be smoother. And that would help you. Because you feel like your wood is a mess here. In this point of the game. And you're like some people are saying, oh, I'm floating wood. Or I'll need wood. Like, what do I do now? And it's hard to fix these mistakes because the mistake wasn't made now. The mistake was made here with the lack of farms, and it just creates a cascading, snowballing effect of, instead of your economy being like smooth curves of supply and demand, it starts being like all like sinusoidal waves, like cosine and sine and things like that. And you're just going to peaks and valleys of eco, and then when you want to fix your eco, you move too much to the other side and things keep getting all shaky-wakey. And I think that's what's happening. Yes, you should grab builds from wood and put in farms before aging up to castle. You should have roughly 14 villagers as on farms. 14 villagers on food. Of course, adding more vill production also helps. That was something that was idle, but I think if you build farms earlier, as soon as you reach feudal age is farming age. If you build farms earlier, I think it will help your economy. I want to say one thing as well, both to you and to all casters, but to you all coaches. What I'm suggesting changes your gameplay. Be careful when you implement those changes, because this is another chart. This is your elo. What happens with most people when they get coached is like they are in a plateau, and getting coached does not look like this. If after my coaching session you start applying the tips and you play worst, usually when you get coached, you're stagnant, you go down and then up. So be careful. I don't know how your standing is in the tournament, but applying these tips can cause you a valley because the game will feel different. And you will lose some of your muscle memory from the game when you are implementing these tips. But a lot of players think, oh, I did what Nando told me. This is going down. Let's revert back, and that guy doesn't know what he's talking about. And then they revert back to this. If you keep going, you think that this will be a constant downward trajectory. No. After you get used to the advice, it often helps. I should have opened up with this line. Okay, now I have it in me for one final coaching session. Exactly, doing something new. Doing my Nando Hates 14. I'm going to save this drawing and send it to freaking. Hello, Dizzy. Hello, Dizzy. Hope you're doing well. Put it on the fridge. You're welcome. You're welcome. Hope it was enjoyable. This you have no coaching today. This is the last coaching I'm going to do, and it's going to be of Nadia Nova. You're too late, Dizzy. Let me just check one thing here real quick. Yeah, the map is particularly hard. That map is a tough one. Let me check what I have here from Nadia Nova. I don't think I've ever seen, I don't know if Nadia Nova played it. I've never seen anyone play Mudflow. Mudflow is in this tournament, right? I think it is. Oh, High Tides, High Tides. I love Mudflow. We have Costa Rica, Monocle, and High Tides. High Tides is a good map to coach on. Oh, and you're playing against Kaizoku. Oh. 俺は海賊王になるありがてる夢をかき集めトゥルトゥ探し物を探しに行くのさポケットのコインそれと You wanna be my friend We are on the cruise Copyright 857. Just updating the yellows. I'm not singing just randomly. I'm filling up the time where I update the yellows. Second map in that set, I lost. Okay. Let's see. Oh, good luck, have fun. Nice. You too. Okay, and we have here Nadia Nova's perspective. This is a hard map to play. Any map that's a hybrid start for this elo, like, hats off to you. I think this is like cruelty, exposing players below 1400 elo to a map like High Tides. Of course, you're also playing against a player at your elo, so it balances out. Just adjusting my seating position. By the way, Dizzy, because you're very picky, while we are here in Castle Age, in Dark Age, nice scouting and all, does my capture age look smoother, DC? Hybrid strat is to make 15 fishing boats and then forget about water. That is a good... are we seeing one game per coach you once said? First one, I did 2 games. I think the first coachy that I had today was my worst performance. I gave him 2 maps and I still feel like he didn't have enough value out of the coaching session, even though they are free, so you all have infinite value. Because I was getting warmed up. I feel like now I'm doing a better job at coaching. Your capture rate looks smoother to me. Let's go! 2 PC setup paid off. The thing is, capture age, I can explain to you while we're at the start of the game. Capture age is very weird. It chooses what PCs it likes and doesn't like. I'm running capture age on a laptop right now. I have a desktop PC that's better than my laptop, and my laptop runs capture age way better than my desktop computer, which is the better of the two. You're watching capture age in a laptop today. Capture age on Linux. Is there does capture age run on Linux? I never use Linux because sorry, I work with programmers and programmers are very annoying about Linux, and just to annoy them, I refuse to use Linux. So 4 on wood, that's usually a little bit slower than standard, but for this elo that's completely fine. It's more important for this elo, by the way, to be consistent than perfect. You don't... Like, 3 on wood would be like a gold standard if you're not going water. From the start, I'm assuming you're not going to water. I'm treating this as a land map. 3 on wood would be ideal, but if you're consistent with 4, consistency is more important, and this won't lose you games. At this elo, I'm a programmer. Let's go! I have a lot of programmer friends, so I like to mess with them. Yeah, most of our villagers are on food. That is correct. Linux is a Fedora for hipster programmers. That's why there is a Linux that is called Fedora. Nice scouting. And nice... Okay, this map is hard to wall. The wall is a bit far away, but I think that's a nice bit of walling. And the fact that you are scouting here to make sure that this is close and it isn't, that's something that even sometimes pro players forget. It's a bit early for walling. So the resources that you're spending there can harm your opening a little bit. But if this is age up after 21 villagers... 20 villagers, 21 pop. I think this can be very clean, and it still feels like it. Berber villagers do move faster. Oh, could one extra villager, you could click up to feudal already. Ooh. So this is probably a fast castle build. Or just... Okay, cancel the villager, so I take that back. Adjusting the walls, dropping the barrack on the hill. I think I got completely distracted by my wheels going idle. Yeah, no worries, no worries. Okay, here... we see... I was about to say, we see the first mistake, but no. 10 on wood, that is nice. That is what you should do to stop... I was talking about that snowballing deep and valley... type of response. Yeah, this is a hybrid map, the 1100. That is the main mistake being made here. This is very clean for a land build. However, when you play a water map as if it were a land map, you pay the price for it, usually. Okay, now we have 15 on wood. That is a little bit too much. We should add a few to berries. Okay, we see mining camp. 4 on a mining camp. If we are not going archers or naval, like battle units, like galleys or something, it is a bit too much. This is fishing ship, so 5 on gold is a lot of gold. And I'm picky about these things because they kinda snowball. This is great. Double B-Rex on the way. Gold mining, the timing is a bit too early. Usually you get gold mining while on the way to Castle Age. It's the least important of the eco upgrades. Horse collar would be better than gold mining. Nice reaction there. Lumi's in, that scout won't have a good time. And okay, we are adding fishing ships, but I think because of how late we were, okay, we need farms as well. Nice, 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 nice. And we have horse collar. Okay, there's one thing here that I also want to talk about, is that if we start walling, this is resources, but our front is still very exposed. Yes, partial walls are better than no walls, but if we are going for walls, I wouldn't mind seeing even one villager just setting a palisade here on the front, starting from this side. That way, if your opponent arrives, you will have more time. However, you are front with some men-at-arms. Your opponent is attacking you. You can garrison, but they won't fire melee. Partial walls is a good flex through. Attempted with walls players nowadays. And this attack already gained value from you. You already took down 2 men-at-arms. Careful with the TC. Okay, okay. That's already good value out of the attack. Great idle TC time as well. Great micro, not running under the TC, keeping those units alive. The militia are trying to be annoying against the fishing ships. He walked in here and left through. This was still good value. You have a positive KD there. Okay, what's happening now is, like, we as casters like to have eyes on the action. This top left bar of the screen is what defines who wins and who loses matches. And we see, yeah, the micro is superb. This is kind of the same pattern in the previous game. Superb micro, superb army control. But the wood, I think my coaching today will be to everyone. I mean, when I was coached by Hera, I was 1100 elo, and I climbed up to 1600 elo, and the main thing that made me gain the elo was, yes, plate farms. But this causes that effect that I was talking about. 17 farms, it's still acceptable, a bit much, but this causes that effect of your ego going all woo woo woo. If these farms were already here earlier, like you're floating a bit of wood, you could drop a market, you could already be on the way to Castle Age. With Berbers, imagine how powerful you would be now with knights on the field. Imminent knights. All of these farms. There has to be a try not to mention you were coached by Hera. Challenge stream. True. I mean, Lori, I keep getting new viewers. I'm a growing streamer. I need to keep them up with the lore. Yeah, you should garrison here. Second barracks. Some long distance wood gathering. Yeah, and that's the thing right now. This is awkward rest to have. And this is because the farms were added too late. You're floating... Kratos, you were what by who? Oh, I just noticed that I thought it was fixed. The YouTube chat is still glitchy. The display on screen. I need to fix that. I have no idea how that started. Has an arrow there to scroll down? It's very weird. Probably some update on their back end, and then the things that I have are now obsolete. Yeah, but that's the thing. Yes, it is. I stopped caring, but yes, it is. Sorry. Sorry, people from YouTube. I do have a lot of loyal YouTube fans. I multi-stream. respecting the opponent's pressure. Towers are a rough choice versus Man-at-Arms. I think it is just a good answer, in my opinion, just because you need an answer. And that's the best thing you have at hand. So I don't dislike this. And we see here the power of walls. It said you don't need to be fully walled if your opponent believes you are fully walled. And that's what happened here. But we see that like the setup and everything, we have some difference in res collected. I think right now, I don't know if, I mean, you told me that you're going to lose. We are set up for the loss. And I think the main reason why you are losing is literally Castle Age timing and literally due to the floating wood. I think that was the main thing here. Because you did a lot of good things. I like the Dark Age setup. The timing on getting the upgrades. The gold can be delayed. Gold upgrade should be delayed. But we saw that they eco like too many on gold. Not enough farms and everything. And those things snowballed negatively. Because the unit control and things like that. And unit control is harder than balancing eco. In terms of speed and everything. So it's not a matter of speed. It's a matter of what are my priorities. What is more important in the game. Because we see units falling from our enemies. We feel like that's the thing that's winning the thing. I think I'm still trying to stop my brain from going, oh, gold, I got a great ASAP. Especially early game. Yeah. In Feudal Age, 2 gold miners is enough if you're not going archers. If you're not like, you only need gold for archers. I mean, you also need it for bloodlines. Bloodlines and archers and fletching are the only things that cost gold. And then it's Castle Age upgrade. You have X... Okay, and militia. Also costs gold, but very little. Once you reach Castle Age, then you have... Oh, knights cost gold. Oh, crossbows cost gold. Oh, siege. Oh, monks. Once you reach Castle Age, gold is very important. Feudal Age, food is the most important resource. And the reason why we want wood is to convert it into food. And now things are a little bit crumbly, and that's... Gold is cool though, it is. But the gold will wait. Like right now, we have 845 gold. That's not doing anything. It's hard to control monks, but if Castle Age was in earlier, this could be 8 monks that would shut down this attack completely. I'm not saying go for monks, they are not the best unit in lower elo, but if you love gold, all of that gold could have been monks. And now we see 10 knights, but from two stables. And Berber Knights are a great unit. That's the correct unit choice. And Knights perform well versus Man-at-Arms. We are lacking the armor upgrades. Armor upgrades are more important than the attack upgrades on the Knights. But we should perform fairly well. Even if they are Japanese. Yeah. And imagine... all the people. Imagine these knights were here earlier, because now you can spend a gold. Now you can spend that juicy gold, and it does, in the Castle Age now, it pays off big time to have that gold. But that's exactly why we want to reach Castle Age as fast as possible. Now, the game isn't over. That looked a little bit dicey, and you are playing an uphill game now. Because your opponent was safe during all of this. His economy is very secure. He's winning on water in a hybrid map. And Japanese are really good. Yeah, Berber Night Rush, the unit comp is there. We saw some players today struggling with unit choices and unit comps. Ooh, and you'll be happy to see this. Nice find with the knights. And you can take that battle. Your opponent doesn't have enough. Or can you? I mean, they are Japanese. No, you can. Yeah, pikeman upgrade wasn't in yet. That was a nice battle. Cleaning that up. You're buying yourself time and you're buying yourself back into the... Oh, when I saw you have... I'm guessing I was looking the wrong way. Sorry. I mixed up the upgrades. You did get chain barding before forging. That was a caster mistake. And that is correct. And now harassing with the longswords, the water economy. That is a good call. Oh yeah, the line of vision of the knights is very poor. It is true. It's the armor. The armor is blocking, the helmet is blocking their eyesight. Cute. As I said, Nadia, I think your micro and unit control is really good. Okay, and now here, there is one thing that we need to be aware when we are playing Age of Empires, is that booming is extremely powerful. And if we aren't booming, we need to cause damage. We are producing good military, we have a good army. We could go 2 or 3 DCs ourselves, and then we don't have that much pressure to cause damage. If we are booming ourselves, we remove a lot of the pressure we are under. If we are not booming, we need to cause damage. And the reason why you lost that was only because you're facing off against Japanese pikemen. Japanese have the bonus of attacking faster. A lot of the pikeman damage is bonus damage versus the cavalry. So it snowballs really big time. A monk would also be nice to help heal this unit. And now, I think your only problem, because 1 DC all-in attack is good. Now you're spending your economy really well, and this is what we like to see in an economy. Of course, more numbers would be better, but that's always the case. That's not useful advice. Now that you're in Castle Age, you're doing a good job at producing. I think you just need to get into Castle Age in a better shape, because once you are in Castle Age, yeah, good idle TC time, you're doing a lot of things correct. Good unit control. Oof, the problem is, okay, that's the thing when we're going for a single unit. Is that if we don't win right away, we give our opponent enough time to mount a counter. And now I feel like you need to transition more into... Sorry, I was mesmerized. We need to transition into more man-at-arms to counter the pikes. And in the previous game, we had that scenario where we had skirms and crossbows on the field. And the power of crossbows was that they melt villagers. Now you're in that scenario, but it's knight versus pike. Your opponent attacking you is good for you. Your correct answer here is attack his villagers. You do not want to fight the army, not with what you have. It's better to fight with towers. These knights should be pulsing on the opponent eco. I mean, you need to defend this at the same time. Good call to use the siege. The mango will shred everything there. I mean, those are some fast walking pikes. So a scorpion would help here. But yeah, do not go back with a knight. That is the correct call. Yeah, exactly. Scorps is enough to counter the pikes. And you already also have some man-at-arms, which are also good. And the man-at-arms supporting some Scorps will perform nice versus the pikes. Oh, nice, cheeky. Stone mine. I think the problem now... You can go imp through, but we're reaching the state of the game where, because of those snowballing things, because we didn't cause enough damage, because we are facing off against counter units, and things like that, the game reaches a point where even if now you do all the correct choices, you play the correct units, you go for the correct strategies, the game has slid away from your control. I remember that attack being very frustrating because in my mind I was like, how is it better to attack than to fight these spikes at home? But then I ran through 3 TCs and I was like, what the heck do I attack through? And your opponent garrison, because sometimes you can find damage with the TCs. That's like, Age of Empires is a 2-player game. And you did the right call, but your opponent also played well and was prepared for it. He garrisoned, he had the correct unit, so that wasn't like... Your decision was good to go forward, I agree. But your opponent, because he has the water helping and he has a lot of map control, he can afford to set up good defenses. Basically, basically your opponent is now reaping rewards, like he's playing an easier game because of earlier setup. And I feel like this game is about timings and everything. Since you were later to Castle Age, you needed to boom. If you're not going for the boom, you need timings to be cleaner. That's the two options. You can be slower with the boom if you're going aggressive. Those like 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes of Castle Age being sooner makes such a difference in snowballing and piling on the attack. Yeah, imp from the castle. Banned the Japanese samurai and everything. Your opponent also did a good job with the eco, but like the ball, the pressure was mostly on your side of the map, so he played an easier game, and that's what we want. We want, like, Age of Empires, a lot of us think that it's how well you play in the difficult situations, and we look at those difficult situations, but we can win a lot of games by never, at this elo, by never getting into difficult situations with different setups and different preparations. That's what we want, because right now we are in a very difficult situation, and like when you said like the moment with the knights is the most memorable one, it feels like, oh, I lost the game when I had those knights. But that isn't the moment where you lost the game. The moment where you lost the game, it is annoying, but is that one farm that isn't placed. Those are the things that your unit, like, I think some players at this elo like unit control and everything. I think you're already way above 850 elo on those aspects, on unit control, on reaction speed and things like that. And like when I talk about eco, of course booming is an option, but you can keep playing on 1 TC. Booming is an option, but for now it isn't a necessity yet. I haven't played ranks since starting the tournament and training. Honestly, I think the unit control is better than mine. Yeah, exactly. The unit control is really good. Like, chat isn't throwing you empty compliments. The unit control is really good. I think also the fact that it was a hybrid map played against you, because that's like, that's not flashy, but it's a bonus that's constantly working against you. The fact that your opponent has water and you don't. These players could beat me easily. Yeah, nowadays there's I feel like, by the way, the elo keeps getting tougher and tougher. I feel like 2 years ago, Nadia would easily be 1200 elo. Even with the eco and things like that. My training is 400 games of team free-for-all with my friends where the most important thing is not winning but having the flashiest unit control on the map is completely out of wood and trash wars are too expensive. Oh, that makes sense. Because when you're playing with friends, a lot of things that are like super timing and speed are anti-fun. And that's the thing you are lacking, is the timings. Those tight timings that are so lethal, and you don't build that up when playing with friends because none of you go for it as a code of honor kind of thing. The samurai are really cool. With the I forgot the name of these flags. Playing with friends is me annoying everyone in conks and docks. Playing friends is me going full monks. I think it's also just information that doesn't really exist since we all started playing together. Yeah. But information, like, that's the thing you will build over time. Automatically. You don't have to focus on it. You'll just start absorbing more and more. Gomereo. What are your orders? Oh. Gomereo. I'm looking at the game and I'm just chatting. I'm going to the end of the game out of courtesy, but I think at this point, especially with capture age vision, who needs timings when you can have friends? True. And that's another thing. That's why I only did coaching for people who pre-registered. Because even if you're playing in this tournament, you don't need to want to get better. Like, of course, getting better is nice, but that doesn't have to be your focus. Like, next raid here. Just passing. Just enjoying the game is enough, but that's why I wanted people to pre-register for coaching, because that way, first I have their consent to be more critical. Your opponents did react well, by the way. A lot of 800 elos would not react to these raids like this. Casually selecting 2 units in a fog. GG's. Wanting to get better is how I got my only set window. Exactly, and like there's going to be like TTLC. This is the biggest 1v1 tournament, community tournament ever. But there's going to be more. There keeps, like, if you're new to the community tournament scene, we keep having more and more tournaments. Like once one happens, there's a small break, then there's another one. If you're already out of this tournament because some players already know their fate, it's been really inspiring and motivating for me. I've improved a ton during this. Nice. Glad the coaching helped. Glad it is helping. I mean, I'm talking about the coaching, but you're probably referring to the tournament as a whole. I need to think about timings. Yeah, I think that's your thing. Automate some like Castle Age fast timings to be more lethal, because you have great army control. If you have good timings on top of that, you can cause so much damage. I think the setup is very good. Now, I am getting tired. That was a lot of yapping. I hope you enjoyed the coaching. Let me know if you want to see more. And then let me see if I can find someone to raid over here on Twitch. Oh, Addictive Me is still on. The other day I wanted to raid Addictive Me. I was like indecisive between Addictive Me or DC because I am very supportive of both of them. Since I raided DC the other day, now it's time for Addictive Me. Fellow friend, fellow caster, met him at Red Bull Wololo in person. Feels great, thank you. Nice. It's more abstract, so it's hard outside of like trying to do some build orders perfectly. Yes, I think, honestly, farms. I used a lot of words today, I kept talking, but double B-Rex and farms. Everyone here, that's all you need to become a professional player. Farms. Don't do them like T90. TheNando farms. That's the main takeaway. But yes, that was it for today. I'll be back Friday for my last day of casting the group stages, because soon we start the knockout stage of TTLC. So I'll be back Friday for some more regular casting, and then we'll see what's going to follow next week. I still have no idea how next week is going to look like. Thank you very much to everyone who joined. Looks like coaching was well received, and also that my 2PC setup behaved well, which is a relief. Still need to get myself personally more used to it. It was fun. I'm TheNando. Always enjoy streaming. Always enjoy having you around on both Twitch and YouTube. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye everyone, and have a great one. See ya.